And welcome race fans to the 6th round of the Season 9 of the Bandit Racing League and the Geezer Authentics Truck Series, a series that until now this season was purely asphalt based. We'd never tried to experiment and go out to the dirt side of things and get a little bit more creative in our endeavors, but tonight we are doing something a little bit different. Welcome to the dirt racing action here at Knoxville Raceway for the fixer-upper Down and Dirty 70 at Knoxville in our first of, two dirt races this season, and we are going to be jam-packed. We are going straight into the heat format right now. Tonight we're going to have, I believe 3 to 4 heats that will determine our starting order for our final feature race, and that feature will be what determines, which drivers get which points and who comes away with our 6th win of the season. So far, 5 different winners, and, it would surely be a pleasure to make it 6, but we're going to be kind of on the back foot this time. We've got plenty to go over tonight, and certainly going to be working our way through. But tonight we're going to have a couple of different commentators. Might have some guys hop in the booth with us today. And for starters, as we get ready to go to our starting grid, we got Mr. Brandon Jackson, one of our winners this season at Homestead Miami in round 2, and he's missed a couple races since then, but he's back tonight. He's going to help us out for a couple races until his heat in just a moment. So Brandon, welcome. What are you expecting at Knoxville, and are you ready to get going tonight?
Man, Knoxville's a crazy place, man, especially in the trucks. You don't know what to expect until you're sliding off into the corner. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be really interesting to see how we as the drivers can adjust to this different style of racing. I've been running a lot of dirt within the last year, so hopefully that experience comes in handy, but you never really know what you know until you get behind the wheel. So, but I believe in these guys. I'm going to learn a lot by watching these first 2 heats before my heat, and it's going to be really a learning experience and see what line works and what line won't work right here off the bat.
It'll be interesting to see, certainly, have the changing conditions over the course of the race. We didn't get a chance to go to our track preview or anything like that, but hopefully we get time later in the broadcast and to go to your recap from last week. We'll get you all the updates soon, folks, I promise, but there is your starting grid. Brett Guzik on the pole, Aaron Smith to his outside, Ricky Hart Jr. in the 3rd spot. Then it's Hendricks, Platt, Crockett, Ulrich, Oberg, Ferrara, Weaver, and Henry round off our grid for heat number 1. This is based on the qualifying positions from the session we just ran a moment ago. So let's get doubled up, stacked up, ready to go. The pace truck bringing the field to green. Unfortunately, the tower doesn't really know what to do with all these different spots. So we are going we're going to pull that down for a minute, but we are getting ready to go green. The green flag is out. 8 lapped in the first heat here at Knoxville, and Brett Guzik off to a very good start. Aaron Smith on the outside, the first guy to take the high line. Ricky Hart jumps underneath, and him and Jonathan Platt taking a look at the 42 truck.
Aaron really got a good launch off the start. On the top, it's very known for guys to get on the gas hard here on the starts and restarts, and the truck just wants to jump sideways right here, but he's battling really hard right here against Ricky, fighting off on the inside. Meanwhile, Brett Guzik's just driving away, hoping these guys can just race it out between them.
Yeah, he is smooth sailing, cruising off to the front. Aaron Smith, though, trying to get himself in the battle here, trying to get involved as best as he can. But right behind him is the real battle here. Ricky Hart and Jonathan Platt, they are duking it out pretty good. Ricky Hart choosing to opt for the high line. Jonathan Platt, the slightly lower one. At the moment, no clear advantage to either side. But, of course, in an 8-lap heat, we're already almost halfway through. Not a ton of time. And I think the drivers are slowly going to learn that over the course of this race. Just important to note, the top 5 in each heat will make it through. Currently, the top 5 consists of Guzik, Smith, Platt, Hart, and Hendricks. My graphics currently not working at the moment, but we'll try to figure out why that is the case, and should be good to go in just a moment. Everything is breaking. We'll get that figured out, but right now it's Guzik up front in the 04 truck. Then it's Smith in the 42, Platt in the 43, and then it is Hart in the 64, and Davey Hendricks now becomes the cutoff driver. Charles Oberg dropped back a couple spots. He started in 8th. He's moved up a couple spots, trying to chase down Davey Hendricks running the new paint scheme, and Steve Ulrich is still relatively in the conversation, sitting in 7th.
Matt Crocker, he had a couple of laps where he couldn't find the grip in that truck, and right now sliding up, almost getting into the 25. That was really close right there between Steve and Matt Crocker. But that just goes to show you could be solid the first couple laps, and then you just get out of line, and it's just going to be a struggle. But right now, the top 5 is what you want to aim for, to be able to qualify straight to the A main and not have to worry about that consolation heat that's later in this race.
Yeah, unfortunately, didn't really get a chance to talk about the format, but we are coming towards the end here. Just a couple laps to go. Again, we don't even know the proper time because none of the graphics are working. 3 to go, that's all you need to know here. Now 2 to go this next time by. We just had a race leader, Brett Guzek, looking for his first, win overall of the season. Doesn't have an official feature race win in any of our points races this season, but he is cruising in Heat 1. Going for the finish, going into the final time through 3 and 4 before the final lap. He is cruising, but again, here is the battle for third. Ricky Hart trying to chase down Jonathan Platt, and at the moment has not been able to do so successfully. But this is the transfer spot to not have to make the consolation race, to go straight to the feature. 1 to go. Davey Hendricks trying to hold off Charles Oberg and Steve Ulrich. I think Ulrich looked to the bottom there in the 25 truck, but it was not to be there. He's still trying. Charles Oberg might have one more try into turns 3 and 4. Is he going to go the high line, or is he going to take the low line here?
He's going to have to drive it off really deep, and he does. Oh, so close to get to the back end. That's what guys have to do, man. And the final transfer spot will go to Davey Hendricks. So close, almost getting the bumper to him. That's what you love to see.
Was very, very close. Yeah, Davey Hendricks holding them off to take the final spot there in the top 5. So let's do a quick run through minimal graphics now. We're right into Heat 2. This is going to be interesting, folks. It's going to be fast-paced, like nothing you've seen this year, and hopefully the graphics decide to pick it up a little bit. We had trouble with them at Atlanta a couple weeks ago, and thought we'd got it figured out. Maybe we haven't, but let's just do some resets here on my end, see if we can get it to work. And in the meantime, we're getting ready to go for your second heat of the night. It looks like based on the overall count, I believe we're going to have 4 heats. So this would be heat number 2. Let's see. Do the graphics want to work now? There we go. Those are working. Perfect. There we go. Quick fixes here at the Full Send Racing Network. That's what you can expect. We didn't even get to name the channel. There's a very pretty road there. We got so much to go over. So your grid here for heat number 2 there. There we go. So Nick Nickerson going to be your pole sitter here as we get ready to go. We're going to go to the footage on the number 2 truck. You're, I believe he's second in points at the moment. You're defending champion last season in Season 8 of the Bandit Racing League. He currently sits in the pole in this second of the 2 heats. And it's Tony Hilbrands on the outside alongside him. Kel Zook in third. David Leakey there in the 4th spot. Jason Greenwell on the inside of row 3. Bill Harkins to his outside on the same row. Then we got Connor Zook to the outside of Anthony Caetano on row number 4. Jackson Knock and John Graham round off your top 10. And Thomas Fensler in the number 17 truck in the 11th spot in the heat after qualifying. It appears he will not be starting in this heat, so they'll have to hope that he can make the consolation race work a little better for him. But we are getting ready to go for heat 2 here at Knoxville. Let's just get that updated. There we go. We are ready to go. The pace truck waiting to send these guys off. And again, 8 laps. These are going to be some quick races. Going to be jumping through things pretty quickly. So let's get ready to go. It looks like, I don't know if there was a confusion or what, but Nick Nickerson appears to be running the number 8 truck currently. So I don't know if there's a bit of a paint slip up there, but just so you know, if I refer to the 2 truck, you are referring to the number 8 there of his teammate, Kevin Foster. Same design. So we'll see what Kevin's running in the feature, but getting ready to go. Control of the field belongs with Nick Nickerson, and currently the 8 truck with Tony Hilbrands to his outside. Green flag here for the second time tonight. And heat number 2, the top 5, remember, will advance to your feature for the points determining race. Nick Nickerson, a lot of inside curb there in turn 1. By turn 2, though, it looks like Kel Zook is going to look for an attempt. And right now, David Leakey trying to get involved, but for the time being, it is the top 3 in a big battle. And then the transfer spot here, Jason Greenwell up ahead. Bill Harkins battling with Connor Zook.
Jason Greenwell tried to slip it in to take advantage of that mistake going in the 1 and 2 right there, but wasn't able to. Barely hits the wall right there, but right now he's sitting nice, sitting P5, which is the most important spot right now. You are the final transfer spot, and you're going to hear us talking about it throughout these heats. You want to make sure you're either well above 5th position or you're going to be having to fight like crazy. But right here, though, we got a battle for second right here between Kel Zook and Tony Hilbrands.
Yeah, Kel Zook looking really confident here at the start of this heat. Only 6 to go, but he is doing well with the 2 laps he's taking. Gets to the inside, a bobble from Hilbrands. So the 44 truck will take control. Gets the inside of the line, and as long as he can hold it here, stay on the gas through 3 and 4, should be able to take the spot comfortably, and he does. So Kel Zook, great piece of driving there from the 44. He'll move up to second. Connor Zook not too far back as well. He's sitting in 6th, so we could have 2 Zooks making the feature straight up without the consolation race, but slides it in there. David Leakey now getting involved as well. The 84 truck, this is his first time really in the battle for the podium spots all season, and he is doing well. Tony Hilbrands appears to be struggling as this run goes on. Up front, though, Nick Nickerson just pulling away right now at the front of the field.
Nick's just doing what he does best, man. It's so frustrating as a competitor to just watch him drive off like that, but I'll give it to him, man. Give respect where it's due, and I'll say, he has it. But right here, though, I'm almost looking like Connor's trying to catch up to Jason right here. He's been running that middle to high side while Jason's trying to run the bottom. And Connor's been really, really trying to catch up to him in the last couple laps. It might get interesting here if we got to deal with the last lap. No, never mind. He looks to the inside of Jason Green right here off of turn 4, and he might be able to slide it right here in front of him.
Yeah, trying the over-under there through 3 and 4, now into turn 1. Got the inside line, but that better run, Jason Greenwell is just able to kind of use that block forming up on the top wall with the dirt buildup. And it seems to be working for him right now. Jason Greenwell stays ahead for the time being. And maybe the case for Connor is just it's best for him to wait until the final lap here. Now 2 to go. Doesn't have a ton of time, but maybe if you make the move late enough, you don't give Jason a chance to respond. Now he's going to jump to the high side. Yeah, gave him a bit of a tap. He is doing anything he can to make the feature here. I know there's going to be a lot of spots transferring through the consolation, but the more comfortable you can get to get into the feature, the better. Tried it again. The 55 is getting aggressive.
Down here, he's well alongside him right here. If he can get the good bite off the corner right here, which he does, he might just have to throw it in right here just to slide it up in front of him, which he does, and he's barely clear. Greenwell gives him the bumper, tries to cut underneath him. We're going to hit again off the turn 2.
Oh, man. What a battle.
One more chance right here, and he's going to drive it in deep. Oh, but he might not get there. Jason Greenwell might be able. Oh, no, never mind. Gets the drive off the corner.
Who's it going to be? Jason Greenwell. What a finish. Got just a little bit too sideways through 3 and 4 there. You saw just doing everything he could. I'd imagine if we had an in-car there on Connor Zook, his hands were just moving. Did everything he could, but in the end just...
Is it over yet, boys?
Oh, yeah. That one just... What a finish we had there. That was a barn burner.
Oh, my gosh, boys. So who picked this?
Well, clearly whoever picked it did not agree with my graphics. It's having some tough time keeping up with the rapid fire racing, but we're all good now. We got a good finish there, and I'm sure the people at home got some good racing ahead of them. But man, I'm just having a tough time keeping up. I don't think you're. Oh, Brandon, our very own Brandon Jackson is in this heat. So Brandon, we'll let you hop off. We'll have you back for the next heat. But best of luck, man. Take what you learned just now and go give us a finish that fun for us.
10-4.
Awesome. That was.
Well, Marshall, that's it's interesting to be playing in the dirt here. I can tell you that. Ran my fastest laps there in that little heat race, so these boys are in trouble if I make it to the A.
Hey, there you go. There you go. It's all about learning.
I don't think so. I think everybody's good, but it's been a little bit tough down here in the pits tonight. Guys have not been happy. The track is slicked up really quick with this many trucks on it, so it's been an interesting night so far. All right, go ahead and get your lineup here for this group.
Yes, indeed. On the pole, we got Michael Ramos is going to take the pole in this race for the first time since Season 8 at Charlotte was the last time he was the leader of the field coming to the green flag. Then we got Trey Ellis on his outside. Brandon Jackson and Kevin Foster make up row 2. Peter Murphy, Connor Sawyer are in 5th and 6th, respectively. Then it's Terry Condis alongside Nolan Gross on row 4. And Mark Allen Bivens and Curtis Yancey rounds off the top 10 here. Probably the furthest in a field of 10 he's ever qualified down there. He's usually pretty quick in these things, but might have just not had a chance to run a lap in qualifying. We didn't really get a proper chance to see it.
Yeah, Curtis didn't run a qualifying lap tonight. He was helping me figure out how to reset the track state because we were in a little bit of a dilemma there.
Awesome. Well, thank you to Curtis, and hopefully he can make up for it right here. But green flag here for the 3rd time tonight in heat number 3. Up front, it looks like Michael Ramos is going to have a challenge almost immediately from Brandon Jackson. We just had him in the booth, and clearly he's putting that knowledge to good use. Going to give it an attempt here through turns number 2 and 3. Gets to the inside of Trey Ellis, so that is the 2nd spot. But Michael Ramos still comfortably about 2 or 3 car lengths ahead through 3 and 4. Couple spots back here. Trey Ellis to the inside of that's the other 8 truck of Kevin Foster. A little bit of confusion tonight with the numbers, but no worries. Curtis Yancey, though, already up to 5th. The 51 truck is just flying through the field. Passes CNC Racing affiliate teammate Connor Sawyer running at 6th. Whoa, Peter Murphy in the background. The 38 truck is around. Gets it going relatively quickly, but he got hooked there in the battle for, I believe, 6th or 7th. Up front, Curtis Yancey continues his run through the field, now up to 4th. Trey Ellis there sitting in 5th has dropped down. He's now the driver on the cutoff spot. Connor Sawyer trying to go with Curtis Yancey, his teammate, see if he can make something work. Mark Allen Bivens, who sits 7th in points, currently sits 7th in the race. Not too far back of the transfer spot, but he's got to pick it up a little bit if he wants to make his way up there.
Looked like the 05 may have turned the 38 back there going into turn 3 or down the middle of the backstretch there. We'll have to find out what went on there.
Yeah, I'm guessing there's going to be some tempers flaring at this early point in the race, especially with the consolation race being such a mystery. But yeah, if Nolan Gross and Peter Murphy got together, that could, well, keep an eye. It could potentially lead to something later. Tonight is kind of one of those races that, you know, you got to expect some bumping and pushing. It's just one of those more aggressive endeavors and more trivial affairs. But right now, Connor Sawyer gets to the inside. The 3 and the 4 going at it. That's going to be a deep send to the inside for Connor Sawyer. Going to try to slide up in front of the 4. Side by side, make a little bit of contact through 1 and 2 on the exit. They're still side by side. Connor Sawyer, is he going to try to change it up here through 3 and 4? Maybe try to carry a little bit more pace in the top line. He does catch the corner panel of the 4. Now Mark Allen Bivens might get a chance. Up front, Michael Ramos continues to lead. He's held off Brandon Jackson so far. Curtis Yancey and Kevin Foster not having too hard of a time either. They are still comfortably in the top 5, but this is the transfer battle. Mark Allen Bivens now looking high. 3 laps to go. That's about a minute in total. Trey Ellis still holding on, but man, it has not been an easy race for the driver of the 4.
They're going at it back there, aren't they? A little bit of pushing, shoving.
Oh yeah, we got a great battle as well. Nolan Gross side by side with Connor Sawyer. Now 2 to go. Terry Condis kind of on his own there in the 32 truck in 9th, and Peter Murphy recovered from the spin, but not quite up to this point in the field. Mark Allen Bivens around the outside. Now he becomes the transfer spot. He moves up to 5th. The 76 truck having a great season and a great battle here for 5th. Up front, I believe we got a battle as well. Michael Ramos still your leader, but Yancey and Jackson, these two guys have a history, and they are going at it. Kevin Foster right behind watching them battle, but white flag, 1 to go. Bivens comfortably now clear of Ellis, so there he goes. Just hold on, and he will make his way into the feature comfortably. But Curtis Yancey continues to hold on to 2nd, up 8 spots from the start of the race. And it's Foster and Jackson behind. Foster gets up in front of Jackson. Jackson gives him a bit of a push, and I think that is going to be your order. Curtis Yancey, around turn number 4, gets to the finish. Ramos will win the heat. Yancey comes home 2nd. Foster holds off Jackson, and Mark Allen Bivens in the 76 truck will be your final transfer driver to make the feature race, and it will avoid the consolation festivities. The drivers that will have to go through that are going to be Trey Ellis, Connor Sawyer, Terry Condis, and I believe Peter Murphy, who was involved in a wreck there in that heat. And with that, there you go. There are your heats for tonight. There are your 3 heat races, and now we're on to the consolation. And this is going to be an interesting one. The drivers who have a little bit of experience now from those first couple heats get to take what they did there and learn upon it, and maybe try to improve here for the consolation to put them in the feature for points. And for the consolation race, here is going to be your starting lineup. Charles Oberg will take the pole for the first time in this season as the driver who finished in the 6th spot, I believe in the first heat is how it'll be done. Connor Zook on the front row to his outside. Trey Ellis as the start of row number 2 with Steve Ulrich in 4th. Anthony Caetano starting 5th. Connor Sawyer there in 6th. Christopher Ferrara in 7th. Mr. Bill Harkins, our very own. Just talked to him a moment ago. He is currently in car as we speak and will be running from the outside of the 4th row. Nolan Gross and Matt Crockett will make up your 5th row and 9th and 10th respectively. Then it's Jackson Knock in 11th. Terry Condis to his outside in 12th. Let's scroll down a little bit, get the rest of your grid. Victor Weaver starting in 13th. John Graham, a new face to the series, in 14th. Peter Murphy in 15th. Remember, he got spun just a moment ago. We'll see if he has anything to say about that. Maybe move his way back through the field and get a little bit of revenge on potentially the 05 truck. And Roman Henry and Thomas Fensler, your final 2 in the consolation. Neither driver appears to be starting the race.
So we're taking 10 from here, Marshall.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. There you go. 10 drivers from the consolation race are going to make the feature. And then that'll be your 25-car grid for the points-paying final. Hopefully we get enough time to at least go over your points. We didn't really get time to do much else, but hopefully here we will have enough time for some good racing. Another 8-lap heat tonight, and then it'll be the 70-lap final. Hence the fixer-upper down and dirty 70 at Knoxville Raceway. And we will also got to talk about them in a moment as well. There's just so much to go over, but there's been very congested racing action so far. So we're getting ready to go here. Charles Oberg and Connor Zook. Connor Zook on the outside of the front row. His, I believe, brother, Cale Zook, made the final just a moment ago. We'll see if he can go with him. Off of turn 4, though. Getting doubled up, stacked up, ready to go. Charles Oberg is the control truck, and green flag for the 5th time tonight. The first time in the consolation. Big jump from Zook. Big lockup. Big checkup from Oberg. Holds the field up. Trey Ellis trying to get to his bumper. He puts him around.
Oh, no, that's not good.
Not at all. The very first turn Charles Oberg is put around. There is your first caution of the night. We see it in none of the heats, but we do see it in the consolation. And that is the 02 truck of Charles Oberg, your pole sitter in the consolation race, and he finds himself facing backwards mighty quickly.
That just looked to be very unfortunate right there. I'd have to go back and take a look, but Looked like somebody just gave the good old-fashioned bumper.
Yeah, just really did just get into him there, and that was out of the back of Charles Oberg. We'll get you a better camera angle there, but a couple other drivers appear to have been involved afterwards as well. I'm seeing Peter Murphy and Jackson Knock also had some sort of incident. So here's the run-up to turn number 1 through turn number 2. So yeah, just really held up the field there through turn number 1. Charles Oberg didn't get as good of a jump as the guys behind, but I think Trey Ellis just trying to get through, didn't want to waste any time, put the bumper to him, and he found himself looking backwards. Now here was the incident later on under caution. There's Jackson Knock in that green 00 truck and Peter Murphy in the white and pink. And yes, that was the incident I was potentially alluding to. It was Peter Murphy getting into the back of Nolan Gross, maybe giving him a hey, maybe don't spin me like you did in the heat tap, or whatever equivalent phrase he was trying to say there. It's going to be like that tonight. You know, Brandon, like tensions are going to build, and we already saw some pushing and shoving in your heat, that we had a really good battle for the finish. You know, how much do you expect to see that there in the future? You know, the best in theory tonight at the dirt are the guys that are going to be at their very best going for the win. Are they just going to be trying to focus on racing, or is there something to be said that in order to win tonight, you got to get the elbows out a little bit?
You're gonna have to get the elbows out a little bit. You know, when this track gets slicked off, it's gonna be a bottom line. It's gonna be a bottom line track, just like it was in real life, and it's gonna be a struggle. You're gonna have to move somebody eventually if you're gonna want to have to go fast here. But I do believe with this heat, I feel like we're gonna see some more action right here on this restart, though.
I certainly hope so. Connor Zook, a really exciting race leader. Remember, again, I believe his brother Kale Zook just got into the feature a moment ago, so we'll see if we can have the double Zook combo going into the feature. But the green flag is out. The 55 is the control truck. Steve Orrick on the outside. Connor Sawyer sitting there in third. Some new names here.
Back at the field, we got 32 around. Hard contact.
Yeah, Terry Conn does significant damage to the back of the truck. We keep going under green. Charles Oberg still involved. Significant damage to the O2. He's going to need a miracle here. He's going to need some wrecks if he wants to make his way into the final. Remember, the top 10 of 17 here are going to make the feature race. Right now, it's the two Connors, Zook and Sawyer, top 2. Steve Orrick not too far back after that, and then it's Trey Ellis sitting there in third. Anthony Caetano battling with him. What a battle. 2 rows of 2 wide here. This is the battle for third through about 7th. Great racing here, but up front for the lead as it's been in all the heats. The leader looking comfortable. Connor Zook controlling the field.
The leader's looking really good, but I tell you, the battle right here for the final transfer spot right here in P10, 11, and 12. It's getting hairy as, wow, what a run on the inside by John Grant. I mean, just passing him on the inside. Just that last corner was absolutely amazing. He gets up on the cushion right here into the 25, into the 00.
There he goes.
Hang on to it. He cannot.
Jackson Knock kind of provided the final bit of help he needed there. Yeah, John Graham getting really aggressive. That's what you like to see from some of the newer guys. You know, get the elbows out, be confident, make something happen, and unfortunately, it didn't quite work out there. We might have something happening up here. Anthony Caetano and Bill Harkins. We talked to Bill Harkins just a moment ago, and now he finds himself in the battle just in front of the transfer spot. Nolan Gross currently holds that position. Christopher Ferrara in the 13 has gone back to the pits. And this is the end. Final lap. Connor Zook takes the win. And the consolation race back to the cutoff, though. Nolan Gross should hold off Terry Condis, who recovered from an earlier spin. And that'll be our 10. The 05 truck takes a massive shunt. That looked deadly. Holy cow. Wow.
Wow.
Holy, there you go.
It's a consolation if I've ever seen it.
Did I make it, guys?
You did, Bill. There you
go.
go.
Look at that. Would you look at that?
Look at that.
That was a heck of a consolation. So it looks like right here, I do believe. Let's see.
Oh, we got a few minutes of warm up. Thank goodness. I got some time to do my pre-race stuff. Sorry there.
Hey, Marcel.
Hey, Nick. How's it going?
Hey, man. Hey, can I get you to refresh your paints? Now we got a little bit of a break.
Yes.
And you'd have to do it through trading paints. Like, if you open up the program, do you, like, re-download paints?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, man.
Gotcha. I like the 2 number 8s. At least you guys are different colors.
Yeah, I was trying to fix his paint, and apparently I was in my account while I was trying to fix his paint. So
Yeah, no, I made a mistake. Yeah, I know.
Oh well.
Sorry, guys.
Hopefully it shows up the right car. We'll see.
Well, we got a few moments now before the final goes live, and can I just have a quick reminder, Nick? What's the refresh paints command?
Control R in
Awesome.
iRacing.
Thank you, sir. There we go.
Okay, let me get to in my truck. Tell me if it is now a black car for you. All right.
Yes, it is.
Okay, perfect.
It is black
Thanks,
number
man.
2. Yep, we're all good.
46. Thanks, man.
Perfect. Thank you, Nick. Well, there we go. We got 3 minutes to go. We really got to get to it. So I know this has been a completely different broadcast of anything we've done this year. It's been a lot more free form than I was hoping. But we got some stuff we got to go over. First of all, your race sponsor. And well, first of all, thank you to David Leakey, tonight's official sponsor and the driver of the number 84 truck in the series full time. But he wanted to shout out his wife's company. Fixer Upper is a company that operates. I don't know the exact area. It was the thing I was going to check beforehand, but check the website there on Facebook to get some more details. But he just wanted to shout her out. She works with all sorts of different handyman style projects, or handy woman, I guess in this case. All sorts of stuff. Builds shelves, works on home projects, and really all manner of stuff. So felt like it would be great time to shout her out. And David was kind enough to sponsor the race itself. So go check her out. The link is in the description there. You can learn all about that and learn some more details than I could provide you here now. But yes, thank you overall, and what a race name. The Fixer Upper Down and Dirty 70, and it was certainly down and dirty there in those heats. Man, there was some wheel-to-wheel action there. That it was certainly more condensed than we're perhaps used to in most weeks. You always get the occasional bumper-to-bumper close racing, but you don't always necessarily get the lap after lap, side-by-side slamming into each other style of things, and it was good to get some variety there. So hopefully we see more of that in the final, which we're just warming up for now as we speak, for those of you just tuning in. But another thing we got to shout out as well as thank you to Brandon Jackson for stopping by there in the pre-race to commentate a couple of heats, and to any other drivers that may not make it. Maybe we'll have somebody hop in up here in the future. But I also quickly want to talk about a little bit a new addition to the Bandit Racing League website. We got merch now. We got some swag. We got all sorts of stuff. We got t-shirts. We got hoodies. We got, I know hats are coming soon, I've been hearing, but all manner of t-shirts, all manner of colors. You can get the Geezer Authentics Truck Series logo, unique to season number 9, or you can get just the general Bandit Racing League logo, always one of my favorites. And I've always really liked the colors and the branding of this series, so if you want to rep the series, you want to get some merch, and I know that the costs are kept low, the profits are kept low. It's really just about giving you guys something to wear, give a chance to shout out the Bandit Racing League, and really the most you can do for us in exchange is just, explain to somebody if they're asking what the heck you're wearing. Explain to them what you're wearing when you wear it out in public, and that'll be enough free press for us. That's all we could ask for. So here is my personal favorite. I love the sweater here, just stuff like that, just nice and simple, but also with the branding of the series, nice and official. I like the look of the patch. Got the Truck Series logo there on the back, so specific to season 9, which is already shaping up to be one of the best in the series history, and really that's all we could ask for. So if you're interested, go to the Bandit Racing League website. It's always linked in the description of the YouTube videos, so go down to the description on the stream and you'll find the link. And then I believe it's called Bandit Swag is the category you're looking for there on the left side of the drop-down. And that'll take you to all the info, and you can order your stuff, and I'm sure get it in a speedy manner. And, well, maybe you'll have it in time for next week's race at Milwaukee Mile, the second round of our Rogue Energy triple header. I guess we can take a moment to show the season schedule there, just while we have a moment again before the feature race goes live. So here again is
don't forget, Marshall, that all profits help run the Bandit Racing League and its production values.
Exactly.
So it's a small profit, but it all comes right back to all these drivers.
Exactly. Your money goes to a good place. It goes to making the series better, and it goes to just keeping production value as high as they can, because these guys put on a great product on track, and the only thing we can really do is try to compensate that in return with what I and everybody else does on our end as the admins, the guys who host the series, and the ones like me who put on the broadcast. But there is the schedule for the rest of the season going forward, and didn't really get a chance to go over the points. We still won't, because now we're getting ready to go into the race. I don't mean to jinx it, but I see a wild participant in the Discord chat perhaps has returned. Is Mr. Evan Wall with us?
I am back. I didn't think that I would be here for today's race. I just barely made it home, but I just got here. I was able to watch some of the heat races as they were going on. They looked like a lot of fun, and I'm excited for the race.
Awesome. Welcome back, Evan. It is awesome to have you. Things have been nuts. We kind of went straight there into the heats, got through them, had some graphics problems, but we had some great racing. We had some good finishes, and the consolation race was really interesting as well. And after a very chaotic day for me trying to get this thing set up at all, I'm really hoping that the heat or that the final here goes well, and and justifies some very hard work from the drivers. I know people tend to really not like the dirt side of things if they haven't had experience with it in the past, but you never know. Let's get a chance here to show your grid before we get too far into things, and we got to go back up a little ways. There we go. So your pole sitter tonight, Evan, we always talk about him, man. Brett Guzik, we've been hyping him up for so long. Man, for his sake and ours, do I hope this is the night. We look stupid for every week that that inevitable win we always talk about doesn't happen. But the 04 truck, he's got another good chance. He's starting on the pole tonight. Nick Nickerson in the 2 trucks, starting in second. We got his paint refreshed and fixed, so he no longer looks like Kevin Foster. Michael Ramos on the second row. Great spot for him. Look out for the 27 truck here. The 42 of Aaron Smith. He's had some great performances, including a couple seconds. Could this be the first win for him of the season? Maybe 6 different winners to start off the year. And it's Cale Zook who's had a good night so far on the inside of row number 3 with Curtis Yancey to his outside. Then it's Platt, Leakey, Foster, Hart, your rest of your top 10. And we got Tony Hilbrand's Brandon Jackson in row number 6. Let's just fly through the rest of this here because we got to get hurried up and ready to go. So 13th and 14th, we got Davey Hendricks and Jason Greenwell. I know Davey really didn't feel good about the dirt side of things, but he's made it to the features. So we'll see if maybe he can improve as we go on. Then it's Bivens, Zook, Sawyer, Ellis, Matt Crockett, and Steve Ulrich to round off your grid for tonight's feature here at Knoxville Raceway, the 6th round of the Bandit Racing League and the fixer-upper down and dirty 70 at Knoxville Raceway. Let's get going. The green flag is out. The control truck is off. And Brett Guzik brings the field to green with Nick Nickerson, who is outside. Here we go. Good slide from Brett. Gets it comfortably ahead of Nick Nickerson in second. But Aaron Smith giving Nick a challenge right off the bat as he's been doing all season.
Yeah, great racing through the front and great racing really all throughout the field. A lot of fun to see these guys sliding around, getting sideways on dirt. You look at the 51 of Curtis Yancey going 3 wide.
Whoa, huge pile up. Platt's into it. Multiple drivers involved. Ricky Hart takes a shunt. He is stopped on track. Ricky Hart dropping back. First caution of the night. There it is. We had a battle forming up between Brett Guzik and Nick Nickerson there, but biggest wreck of the night, the first race with more than 10 trucks, and we immediately had a massive wreck. Let's go to a replay. So here is Ricky Hart, who was the driver in question at the time of the crash. You see up front, guys getting wiggly. It all really started there with Curtis Yancey getting in contact with, I believe it was Cale Zook, who was having such a great night to that point. Hooked him into somebody else, and that was really where it all kicked off. And here, let's go to a blimp camera. That way we can kind of see some context of what things are looking like from above. So this is coming out of turn number 4. Yeah, just kind of hooks Zook up into Platt. And that's where it all kind of kicked off. Further back, I believe David Lakey got involved as well, tried to avoid. The only driver really in that exchange, Evan, that didn't really come out of it was Ricky Hart. He was kind of the only guy to get stuck there. Got back up to speed, but just found himself there in the aftermath. Not much he could do.
Yeah, that's one of the things about dirt here is sometimes it's hard to just get out of the way, and especially when a lot of these guys don't necessarily know how to control these trucks on dirt as well. Some of these guys race dirt, but some of them don't. So especially if you don't know how to control it, getting out of the way of accidents is going to be one of the really tough points. Yeah,
for sure. And I feel like I'm hoping for tonight. I'm hoping and believing in the series drivers that we should keep it relatively clean, but we will not have cautions. Cautions will not count towards the lap total tonight. So if we get a caution, the race freezes, and we will run 70 laps under green guaranteed. You're going to notice with the timing tower, it is going to be resetting and going kind of in circles there as drivers drop down. That's just how it works when you freeze the cautions, and each lap doesn't count. It just resets the field back every lap. So hopefully it'll be easy to see there from your perspective. And currently, just to clarify, Brett Guzik is indeed your race leader. Nick is showing up as the leader right now, but he will be in second there. He'll be your lead driver from the outside of the line. The lights in the pace truck are off, so I believe we got a very quick caution there, and hopefully that continues tonight if we're going to have multiple. But the pace truck is off to its left. The control of the field is in the hands of Brett Guzik in the 04. He led the first couple laps here, and Kenny lead it again. Second green flag of the feature race. Brett Guzik off to turn number 1. Aaron Smith going with him up front.
Yeah, Brett Guzik with a good start, but Nick Nickerson and Aaron Smith are going to follow in close. Nickerson's going to be up there on the outside. Brett Guzik still going to have the advantage, though, diving down into the turn.
A 3-horse race for the front of the field. Brett Guzik doing his very best to hold off the double file battle behind him. Jonathan Platts recovered quite well. He's battling with Michael Ramos there, looking at his inside through 1 and 2. A good slide in the back end of both trucks, so they should be able to carry quite a bit of speed. Tony Hilbrand's thought he might get into Curtis Yancey there. Tony is up 4 spots from 11th at the start of the race. Now sitting up there in 7th, and he is doing well for himself. But Curtis Yancey, remember, he started 11th in his heat, went all the way up to 2nd. Can he keep that positive momentum working? At the moment, right on the back bumper of Michael Ramos in this sideways battle for 4th.
And then we've got a nice little battle back a little bit further back. The 43 truck's going to be up there on the outside. Curtis Yancey getting a little bit squirrely, and up high Curtis Yancey is, but down to the bottom, going to take advantage of it is Hilbrands down on the inside of the 3 wide. Platt's going to be in the middle. Yancey's going to be up high.
Still 3 wide. These guys in this part of the track are loving that type of battle. Now 2 wide again. Jonathan Platt gets through it all. Moves up into 4th. Nice move by the 43 truck up front. I saw a battle forming there between Nick Nickerson and Aaron Smith. Remember, this battle we saw at both Daytona and Atlanta. We're seeing it forming again. These 2 guys just seeming to be like magnets finding each other on track. Brett Guzik continues to pull away. Now a 2nd clear of the drivers behind. That is what you like to see if you're a Brett Guzik fan. He's looking comfortable early, but it's a long race. Still on lap number 7, and now Hilbrand's going to get side by side with Ramos. Not too far back is Kel Zook in the 44.
Yeah, Hilbrand's having some trouble, though. He gets up on that cushion. I've seen him do it twice now, just hopping up on that cushion, and it really hurts your time. It really does not help, but look back there in the back. That 44 truck is going to be looking to the inside of Hilbrand's now, and the 99 of Brandon Jackson in the row behind them is side by side with the 84 of Lakey.
Yeah, Brandon Jackson trying to work his way through. He's still in the Skype call, so hopefully we don't jinx him directly here, but we had him in the heats. He had some practice. He got to watch the racing a little bit, and he seems to be putting his efforts to good use. He's up 3 spots from 12th just a couple laps ago. Now just coming to our 10th lap, now 1/7 of the way through our feature. And Brandon, if he can keep doing this, if he can keep extrapolating his success, may be able to work his way to a 2nd win of the year potentially. On the outside, though, Kel Zook trying to go around the outside of Tony Hilbrands again, who's moved up into 7th. He's quite a ways back of this battle for 5th. It's Ramos and Platt now. Curtis Yancey comfortably cleared Platt just a moment ago, and now he's trying to track down Aaron Smith and Nick Nickerson. But those 2 gents are 3 seconds clear of this battle for 4th. Guys starting to split up a little bit, Evan. Maybe just seeing that experience for certain guys on dirt maybe becoming more and more evident as the laps tick on.
Yeah, you know, there's still plenty of time left to go in this race, so there's still plenty of time for guys to make moves. I'm sure there will be more cautions, and I'm sure that these guys know that there will be more cautions, but some of these guys don't care. Look at the 84 of Lakey, and the 92 is going to be sideways. Hilbrand, sideways. The 44 of Zook, going to be sideways. Mark Allen Bivens involved as well. Caution is going to be out a lot, guys.
Oh.
The 21, the 79, 25, huge wreck.
A full roll for the 44 of Kel Zook. Gets it turned around, and he's got a quick repair to burn, but what in the world did we just watch? There are your leaders, Brett Guzik and Nick Nickerson, who honestly probably didn't want that caution to come out. But yeah, let's go back and just see what happened there. So many trucks involved, but it felt like every second somebody new was getting involved in that wreck. So we're going to go back to Mark Allen Bivens, we're going to go back to Tony Hilbrands. He seemed to be the crux of the whole situation. So he's washing up towards the outside. That's Kel Zook in the 44 behind him. Did it look like a tap there to you, Evan, or did he just kind of get loose and hit Lakey?
You know, I can't really tell. Hey, Marshall, just a behind-the-scenes note. Can you put your Discord stream up for me?
Oh, yeah. I thought it was up already. Okay, let's reshare that bad boy if it is not already. There you go, Evan. We'll get that up for you. That'll make things easier. But yeah, I'm just going to review that again because, I mean, so many guys got involved in there late. And, of course, on dirt, it is tough to try to make your way past something happening in front of you. But there were more parts to that than I could see with the naked eye. So let's examine that again. Let's go to the blimp camera maybe. So there's Tony Hilbrand's top of your screen. Washes out in David Leakey. Kind of gets a tap from Jason Greenwell. And then I think Mark Allen gets involved with Zook as he's spinning. Then he clips Hart. Peter Murphy gets into him as well. Davey Hendricks involved. Already wasn't happy with this race. That won't help either. Peter Murphy, his second wreck of the day. And the guy who really loses out on it more than anybody else was Tony Hilbrands, who went all the way around there in that wreck. Just, yeah, that was kind of the big one early in tonight's event here at Knoxville. But I'd imagine it probably won't be the last.
Yeah, I'm sure it won't be the last, but to me, it really just looked like a couple guys trying to race for the same space, and that's really not uncommon in dirt racing like this, especially when it's so close. It looked like Hilbrands may have just washed up a little bit right where Connor, or I believe that was Connor Zook, the 44 truck, he washed up right in front of him, and really that 44 truck just didn't want to give up any momentum, But you know what? Right now we got the pace car diving off. It's going to be the 04 on the outside, the 2 on the inside, and they're firing green flag here again at Knoxville.
Brett Guzik, he had a comfortable lead there by the end of the last stint, but now he's got a bit of a challenge. Nick Nickerson looking low, the 2 truck. Good slide job through 1 and 2, but doesn't manage to make it stick. But the guy who is making progress is Curtis Yancey. The 51 truck passes Smith up to 3rd. Now he's sliding by on the outside. Might take a look at Nick Nickerson. This is a battle we haven't seen all season, and it may be pretty fruitful for the 51 as Brett Guzik pulls away to 1 and 2.
Yeah, Brett Guzik is definitely feeling the pressure right now. He has the 2 to the inside, the 2 up on the cushion just a little bit. He's going to lose some time, I think, to the 51 on the outside. But Brett Guzik is really feeling that pressure right now. He's seeing these guys in his mirror, and he's just trying to get ahead like he was before. But yeah, side by side, the 51 of Curtis Yancey on the outside, the 2 of Nick Nickerson on the inside. These guys are really battling right here.
I think the problem right now for Nick is that Curtis is just taking that outside line. He gets more momentum off the corner. He can kind of pick his line into the next corner there as they slide through, and I think it's working for Curtis. He's trying it again. Clearly he knows something the rest of the field doesn't, because remember, from last in his heat, just second in his heat, all the way to the feature, and now he is up 4 more spots from 6th to 2nd. The 51 truck looking great tonight and holding off the defending series champion. Now clearly gets ahead of him for 2nd, almost goes around, but both drivers managed to save it. What a battle here for 2nd.
Yeah, this is a great battle right here, but keep an eye on that 42 truck directly behind is the 2 of Nick Nickerson, sends it in deep down into the corner. Keep an eye on that 42 truck, that bright yellow truck, making sure that everybody can see it no matter how dirty it gets today. But he's sitting there waiting to attack that 42 in 4th position.
Aaron Smith, always a guy to watch out for. Maybe this is going to be kind of his first race where he plays the quieter role, not the guy we talk about so much, and finds his way in there at the end. Still plenty of time, 54 laps to go here at Knoxville. Nick Nickerson now comfortably back in possession of 2nd place, and he will chug along, try to make up some time to Brett Guzik, who once again has pulled away to almost a full 2nd lead. But I do want to look back very quickly further back in the field as this battle develops. Tony Hilbrands and Jason Greenwell are in a battle there for 7th. David Lakey waiting in behind in the 84 truck. This is a fun one to watch. David Lakey, again, tonight's race sponsor, so shout out to him and to his wife. And thank you guys again for sponsoring. But David, if he can put it in the top 5 for us, it'd make you look even better there, and it would continue our kind of mini jinx where the race sponsors seem to do very well, and he's doing it again tonight off of turn number 4 to the inside of Hilbrands, looking at the 8th spot, and I believe he will get it if he can get a good run off the exit of 2.
Yeah, he's doing a great job down to the inside, on the inside of Hilbrands, side by side as they go along the straightaway and diving it down into the corner. But Hilbrands is putting up a fight, that's for sure.
He will get the spot. The 84 truck comfortably clear here through turn 4, so now it's going to be 51 laps to go to the finish. Still plenty of time, but these battles are really forming up and don't seem to be stopping. Now the better battle for 3rd, it becomes between Curtis Yancey and Aaron Smith. Nick Nickerson now starting to pull away, and he's actually making up some ground at Brett Guzik lap after lap, so we'll keep an eye up ahead. But now Evan comes the other power that was kind of out of the leader's control in this race. The lap traffic, you see there Davey Hendricks, Brett Guzik not too far up ahead, but this is going to get nuts. It depends on how much these cars that are lapped down just trying to get spots back, how much they want to push or how much they want to let the leaders by.
Yeah, and right as they're going to be starting to catch lap traffic, Nick Nickerson is catching Brett Guzik as well. So Brett Guzik has a lot of things going through his mind right now. He's trying to keep his truck going and in front of Nick Nickerson, but he's also going to have to worry about lap traffic. It is going to be a busy couple of laps for the 04 truck.
Nick Nickerson now, yeah, he's not only caught up, but took a look there through turn number 3 and 4. Went for the slide job, but decides to think better of it. He's going to hold off for just a moment and continue to work his way up to the back bumper there for a more confident move. But Curtis Yancey, big slide to the outside, going to have a good run off of turn number 2. But Aaron Smith right now almost clears him. I thought he might go for a bit of contact there just to try to push him up to the wall. Still side by side. They got by Davey Hendricks, and now goes a lap down. Aaron Smith seeming to find his legs here as we go further and further into the stint.
Yeah, doing a great job and battling right now with Curtis Yancey. Curtis Yancey not too far off, and right behind them is Davey Hendricks. But Davey Hendricks is going to be a lap down. Still doing a good job to battle up there. But you know who's not a lap down? Ramos. He seems to be catching Curtis Yancey and that 42 truck of Smith, and he seems to be gaining on him.
He's looking comfortable there, and I think as long as these guys continue to battle, continue to mess up each other's apexes, he might have a chance to stay with him and genuinely compete for a top spot here tonight. Maybe his first career podium here in the Bandit Racing League. But right now, though, it continues to be the Brett Guzik and Nick Nickerson show for the lead. Nick is really committing with these sends here. You don't normally see him get, whoa, taps the back end. Nice save by Brett. Keeps his hands moving, but Nick Nickerson, I know Brett's a good friend of his, almost puts him around. Came very close there, but it almost backfired for the 2-truck. Now he has to back off, and he gives Brett a couple of valuable tenths as he moves his way up the road there, continuing to hold on to the first spot as he has for every lap of the race.
Yeah, everybody able to save it, but that caused Aaron Smith to be able to catch up a little bit. Curtis Yancey as well. These guys are within range of these drivers. There you see that yellow truck there in the background. So Brett Guzik and Nick Nickerson are not a ways out front by any means. That 42 truck is looking out his windshield. He's watching the 2. He's watching the 04. He's seeing everything that they're doing. And, you know, honestly, with so much left in the race, he may not be too worried about making up that time right now. He may just be settled in trying to ride.
Looking back a little ways here, Peter Murphy, who had some troubles there in the heat. Remember, he got spun around by Nolan Gross, the driver from Millerton, New York, is doing his very best to recover, and right now putting the tire on the wall, really committing to those drives off the corner. And he's starting to catch up to Connor Zook, who's had a good night so far. Speaking of the Zooks, Cale Zook I'm seeing on my telemetry. He appears to have gone around, having a tough race so far already, and he's jumped back to pit road. So Cale Zook right now was great there coming towards the feature, had a great performance there in qualifying and in his heat. Put himself towards the front of the pack, but just couldn't do anything with it since then. He's had a tough time so far, like a couple other drivers. Kevin Foster, your points leader, hasn't had a great night so far. He's currently sitting in 25th. Bill Harkins right now back there in 22nd. Ricky Hart was involved in that earlier incident, then had another spin later on. He's sitting in 20th. So right now your top 5, the drivers who are succeeding, are Brett Guzik, Nick Nickerson sitting not too far back, Aaron Smith still relatively in this battle with Curtis Yancey, who had quite the slide there through turns number 1 and 2. Curtis is blinking, but you can see him there in the background in the 51. And Michael Ramos, who's dropped back a little bit from that battle for 3rd, still in the top 5. Great drive so far for the 27.
Yeah, in a race like this, a dirt race, it really shows you our usual suspects aren't going to be up front. Now, of course, Nick Nickerson, he's still up front. He's great in whatever you put him in. Apparently so is Aaron Smith, but it really kind of levels the playing field a little bit. It's a whole different skill set compared to our normal track. So this is really where you'll see the guys that can shine on dirt and the guys that can't. And it's really fun to see this play out in the guys that are up front.
Fun little battle going on here. This is for 15th, essentially. This is Victor Weaver up front in the 23 truck, holding off Mark Allen Bivens and Trey Ellis, with Steve Ulrich not too far in the background. Here's a fun battle. You don't often see 2 drivers who finished on the podium there at Daytona, and Bivens and Ellis. And then Victor Weaver, whoa, he gets into Ellis. The 2 guys getting together, bounces off. I believe Mark Allen Bivens did Victor Weaver. Trey Ellis actually comes out of the spin looking forwards, and he'll let the leaders by as they shoot past. That's Guzik, Nickerson, Smith, and Yancey. Gets back up to speed, does Trey Ellis, but that was not what he was looking for tonight. Mark Allen Bivens actually moves up a couple spots as a result of that wreck, with Ricky Hart Jr. just, well, it's certainly a damaged race truck, but through 3 and 4, doing his very best to make up valuable points. Just got his win last week at Bristol. We didn't get to do the race recap, but he's your most recent race winner. Broke a streak that had lasted since Atlanta of last season. Maybe was hoping for a second win back-to-back, as he often used to in his old days and his championship days, but well, unfortunately tonight doesn't look like it'll be that, but he's still going to do whatever he can to battle for points. There as he dives underneath Mr. Bill Harkins, and now might get a battle here with Mark Allen Bivens. Looks to the inside. Comfortable run. I believe that the 64 truck is moving up to 15th.
Yeah, Ricky Hart Jr. down there to the inside, Bivens up there on the outside, and a nice little battle starting to form here as these guys are side by side coming through the corner and onto the straightaway.
Now, Mark is able to hold him off for the time being, though, so Mark Allen Bivens holding on. A great season for him so far. He's currently 7th in points, so another good points day would surely mean more to him than a lot of other drivers. But Tony Hilbrand's a little ways further up the field. He's currently trying to hold off Matt Crockett in the 10 truck, who's up 9 spots there from the start of the feature. Good work from the number 10 so far. And Jason Greenwell as well, a couple spots back. Got his first top 10 of the season a couple weeks ago at Atlanta, trying to follow it up once again. He is there, sitting there 3 spots up from his starting position in 11th, with Anthony Caetano, the biggest mover of the race in the 79, up 11 spots from 23rd all the way up to 12th.
Yeah, great job for all those guys. You know, Anthony Caetano, Matt Crockett, these guys really moving up a long ways. And there you see that battle between Matt Crockett and Tony Hilbrands is still going on. The 10 of Crockett up there on the outside, and it looks like he's going to get the position coming onto the straightaway right here. Tony Hilbrands is going to fall in directly behind him, but It's great to see Matt doing so well. He does so much for this league. And, you know, he was even here racing the day that he had a surgery on his back. So really great to see him doing well, poking his head up here into the top 10, I believe 9th place right now. Doing a great job, but still battling with Hilbrandts. Hilbrandt's down there on the inside, looking to make the slide job, but I think the 10's going to have the run on the outside. Caution is out, though.
It is. Looks like Anthony Caetano, the driver that was involved in a wreck and brought that out. I'm seeing Nolan Gross and Nick Nickerson's names showing up in my telemetry, so let's go investigate quick, see what happened there to the number 79 truck. Got loose at a 3 and 4, maybe with some help from the 44 Zook. Like 8 consecutive saves. Looks like Cody Welch at Bristol last week finally goes around as, almost clips Brett Guzik. Getting back up to, wow. Big wreck there. Nick Nickerson just got absolutely walloped there. Yeah, you always want to make sure you're holding the brake there when you get in a wreck like that. You want to make sure you're turning around and putting it back on the power at a reasonable place and in a reasonable place, and that time wasn't quite ready. Nick Nickerson, let's go on board here from his cockpit. This is Nick Nickerson. Not only does he hit Gross, who's checking up as he waits, and Caetano just clips his back end, and the dirt just slides him straight into the wall. Nick Nickerson there. Really, Brett Guzik, your race leader's biggest competition at this point, involved in the aftermath of a wreck for the 12th position, essentially.
Yeah, huge damage for the number 2 car, but you know, the good thing for him, all these guys should still have fast repairs. Not all these guys, but most of these guys should still have fast repairs, so that's the good thing. At least they can come in, they can use the fast repair, and we still got plenty of time left in this race to get back up through the field.
Absolutely. I got to investigate, because according to my telemetry, every driver in the field just crashed, which does not sound correct, but you never know. Something funky could be happening behind the scenes. Looking back live, it doesn't appear to be all that crazy unless people are running into each other, expressing their frustrations. It's continuing to happen, so maybe it's just as a result of, well, it appears my graphics do not like dirt. They don't like trying to comprehend how this race or the heat format works, and this was a software designed for Formula racing in Europe, and if there's one thing that is further from Formula racing in Europe than dirt oval racing in the States, I couldn't name it. So maybe it's just a little bit of cognitive dissonance there between those two things. But now, back up to the front, Brett Guzik, his main rival is gone. He is now in control of the field once again, and without the scary-looking number 2 truck to kind of worry him and put him in fear that his lead could potentially be in jeopardy. But now, I don't know about you, Evan, but a guy that has not only looked scary tonight in both his heat and the feature, but a guy that can be scary to try to hold off. Mr. Curtis Yancey is to his inside here, coming towards the restart with 1 lap to go on the caution. What are you thinking there if you're the 04 truck? Is that a guy you want to see to your inside?
You know, I think anybody is better than Nick Nickerson the way those two guys were racing.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, I know the two of Nick Nickerson and Brett Guzik, they're friends. They're going to race each other hard but clean. So Brett Guzik may not know how some of these other guys are going to race. I don't know how much he's raced with them, but anything with him is probably good. He's just hoping that he can get out in front of him. But the pace truck is going to be off, and they're firing. Brett Guzik is off. He's already got a big jump on the restart. The 51 of Curtis Yancey going to follow in behind, so is the 42 truck. 42 going down low, looking to take the position from the 51.
Yeah, the 42 of Aaron Smith went so low he didn't even fit in the stream, but now he gets to the inside and giving Curtis Yancey some trouble. Yeah, Curtis didn't get a great jump there on that last restart. Gave Brett Guzik some room to jump away. Smith is kind of going to back off a little bit as well, so now Yancey focuses his eyes forwards on Guzik. But further back, it's Michael Ramos now trying to track down Mr. Aaron Smith. Remember, the only driver here on the podium to not score a podium yet, I believe in the Bandit Racing League in general, but also a win. I'm seeing a couple drivers involved in a wreck, most notably Ricky Hart and Peter Murphy. And there it is, 4th caution of the race. Connor Zook and Bill Harkins involved in the aftermath. And after quite a few green flag laps there in that second stint, we might be into the rapid fire caution phase as guys get more and more damaged and the racing gets more and more competitive.
Yeah, you know what they say, Marshall. Cautions breed
They do
caution.
indeed.
So we'll go back and we'll see if we can see what happened on this replay.
So here's Peter Murphy, the driver that kind of kicked this whole thing off. It was in the 38 truck. Gets a big tap there from Connor Zook. The two guys just slide into each other in a massive pileup. Everybody went for the high line, and everybody realized there was a truck there. Didn't even get a chance to kind of take notice of all of whom was involved there. But yeah, so here's Ricky Hart, who seems to have played a large role. So you'll see there, the 55 of Connor Zook hooks the back end of Peter Murphy. Into the wall they go, and was he the driver that flipped? No, that was Connor Zook in the 55 truck. He goes over. I believe Cale Zook, his brother, went over earlier in the race, so I don't know what it is about the Zook guys and the tendency to flip the trucks over, but if they can get back to the pits at least, they can take a quick repair. You see here, Ricky Hart, steam coming out of the back end, but he's at least going to be able to get back to the pits, which, as long as he's got a quick repair left in the 64 garage, then he should be good to go the rest of the race. But yeah, Connor Zook, Peter Murphy, Ricky Hart, and Davey Hendricks, I believe, were involved, if the pit road reports are anything to go off of. And Brett Guzik remains your race leader. And after that jump there, Evan, looks like he might be comfortable as long as he can keep doing what he's doing.
Yeah, he's just hoping that he can get a good jump here on this next restart, and if he can just keep doing the same thing, then he probably will. But you know what? That's the thing. The more restarts there are, the more the guys around you are going to expect what you do on the restarts unless you change something up. So you're definitely going to have to watch out for that. And the pace truck is getting ready to dive off again. But real quick, before it does, Kevin Foster said in the Discord that he had to jump out. We didn't exactly know why he had to jump out in the Discord. Apparently his dog jumped up and broke his wife's nose. So hopefully she's okay. Hopefully they get all that sorted out. Definitely more important things than iRacing, and he had to go deal with that. But the pace truck is off. The green flag is out, and we hope that she is feeling better soon. Going to be the 04 of Brett Guzik with the big jump. And yeah, he's able to do it again.
Absolutely. Yeah, hopefully everything's going well on Kevin Foster's side. But whoa, it is not going well on Curtis Yancey's side. Got hooked in the back by Michael Ramos. He finds his way through. Now he's still getting a tap from Jonathan Platt. He's like a magnet with all these other trucks. Nobody can stay off him, so Aaron Smith and all that chaos. He'll move up to second. Brett Guzik once again jumped out to almost a 2.5 lead. We're 3 wide coming down to turn number 1. Crockett, Nickerson, Lakey up there on the top. Greenwell trying to get involved. Chaos here at Knoxville Raceway.
Yeah, and this is why dirt racing is so much fun. Just guys sliding everywhere, trying to stay off of people. And in some cases, not even trying to stay off of people, putting the bumper to each other. There's Platt, the 27, the 92, into the wall for Ramos.
Yes, indeed, a huge piece of damage to the outside of that number. The 27 and the 84. Multiple guys having trouble staying off the wall. The 2 truck as well. Matt Crockett and further back in the field got hooked. He stays on the power, but caution number 5 of the night must have made contact with somebody. It was only a matter of time there with how much contact we were seeing between drivers, and it looks like Cale Zook is going to be the guy to bring that caution out for probably his second incident of the race. Let's go to your full send racing replay. Here is the 44 of Cale Zook. Up front, that's Matt Crockett, who, had a really weird line there through 1 and 2. We'll have to go to the number 10's perspective, see what happened to him, because he was kind of the one that kicked that whole thing off. Just took a significant sharp decline there into the inside of the corner, and it looked like the 44 truck wasn't anticipating it. So whatever that was appeared to bring out our 5th caution of the feature race. So here is Matt Crockett. No, didn't really appear to make contact with anything. His line just didn't look quite as stable as the other guys around him, and when Cale Zook went underneath trying to, I guess, get the over-under or the undercut done, tried to do the crossover there on the 10 truck, the 2 guys just kind of met in the middle. Can't really put the blame there on anybody, and certainly not on Cale Zook. I mean, I would have probably done a very similar thing to him and wouldn't have expected a truck there. So it's the tough part about dirt. I mean, as we've seen all night, Evan, just so many different lines you can potentially take, and as long as you stay on the power and keep the hands moving, you can get through the corner no matter what you do. So it's tough to try to anticipate what guys around you are going to do like you would at a normal oval. And I'm interested to see how long we have to wait before that works its way up to this battle for the lead, because Brett Guzik, the only untouchable truck in the field, and he hasn't had to deal with any of this so far. So how long is that going to last that he's keeping that 04 truck in perfect condition?
Yeah, I don't know. Guys are going to get used to his jumps sooner or later, and you got to expect whoever's in second place, it's the 42 right now, to really know that he's going to jump it and get ready to do it. So we'll have to see what they do. But, they may not be too worried about it at this point in time, lap 42 of 70, but we'll have to see once we go green here.
And we are going green momentarily. 6th time in the feature race. Brett Guzik on the power. Not quite as good of a jump. Taps the outside wall. He's in the outside wall down to turn number 1. Aaron Smith can't capitalize. Guzik again to the outside wall. But Curtis Yancey's going to try to take advantage. Got a full left tire on the embankment there on the inside. Doesn't pay off. Now Tony Hilbrand's the 92 truck. Where did he come from? He's in the podium spots. Brandon Jackson and Nick Nickerson trying to go with him. Hilbrands is in the wall, sparking as he goes through. And Aaron Smith jumps to the inside of Guzik and becomes the new race leader. The 42 truck looking for his first win of the season. And now he's ahead of Brett Guzik, the first driver to lead a lap other than the 04 so far.
Getting back a little bit further, we got a 3 wide, the 51 of Curtis Yancey on the outside, Nick Nickerson on the inside, and the 99 of Brandon Jackson down on the bottom. A little bit of contact there as the 2 of Nick Nickerson slid up into Curtis Yancey, but everybody's going to get through clean. Curtis Yancey going to come out on top. Now it's the 99 of Brandon Jackson side by side with the 2 of Nick Nickerson.
Nickerson all over the track in the background, but Curtis Yancey back to the podium spots. He finds a way through. Tony Hilbrands has dropped back significantly since a moment ago. Everybody's getting jostled around here with only 25 to go at Knoxville. Brett Guzik still trying to recover to get to Smith, but Jackson on the inside trying to do the alternative to Curtis Yancey. Whatever he does, Brandon's doing the exact opposite. And again, we know from last season in Season 8, the history between Jackson and Yancey. This is not a track that'll keep those two guys off of each other if they get in a close battle, so keep an eye on that. But Nick Nickerson, he's in the wall, but it's for a good reason, really trying to push that high line and get the run off the corners. And unlike Curtis did that last time by, managed to avoid the outside wall. Nick may not be out of this thing so far yet, but Aaron Smith back to the front. The 42 truck is so damaged you can barely see the 4 on the one side, but he is currently holding off Brett Guzik. All the more power to him, proving he can go at any discipline.
Yeah, he may be damaged, but man, that does not matter here. This is a place where aerodynamics mean nothing. He's out there, he's out front. 24 laps to go here at Knoxville. Brett Guzik trying to catch up. Behind him, the 51 of Yancey, the 2 of Nick Nickerson, and the 99 of Brandon Jackson in your top 5.
Here's the exit to turn number 2. It's Smith, then Guzik, then Yancey. We're starting to form up into a bit of a line here. Nickerson and Jackson, though, that might be the battle in just a moment. But before we can get to that, the caution comes out. 6th time of the night. I'm seeing Anthony Caetano, Steve Ulrich, and Victor Weaver, your 3 drivers involved in that. Go again, your full send racing replay. Here is the 79 truck of Anthony Caetano. This is coming down towards turn number 1. Whoa, Victor Weaver in the 23 truck had already gone around by that point. So he's the guy we want to look for, and he's upside down. The 23 truck gets back on all fours. It looks like guys that do go upside down, and that was, I believe, the 4th of the night, have a pretty good track record so far of flipping back on their wheels. But, well, certainly if you're a driver looking for the win, or at least a top 10, you don't want to be upside down primarily. That is the less advantageous position to be in as a race truck. But here it come towards turn 1. He was already kind of loose, and then the fact that Cale Zook was so tucked up to the wall meant when they made contact, it was kind of like a pulley system. Like, really didn't have anywhere to go, and shot him around, put himself upside down off the wall, and managed just to recover and actually get back on the power. But that was kind of just dirt track craziness here at Knoxville, all rolled into one corner. Take one more look at it here. You see again, just, yeah, the fact that Cale Zook was already in the wall meant that when he made partial contact, did Victor Weaver really had nowhere to go. And once Anthony Caetano got into him as he spun, the momentum just flipped him over there, put him upside down, and again, got back on the power relatively quickly. So there is one driver who should remain, I believe, on the lead lap. Yeah, he'll still be your final driver on the lead lap there in 14th. So, you know, fair play to him. We talked about it earlier. I mean, it was the very first thing you said when you hopped into the broadcast. But tonight, it's not about flat-out pace. It's about how you roll with the punches. And, well, there you go. That could be a roll with the punches moment there if Anthony Caetano keeps that damaged race truck on track for a couple more laps.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's what you got to do. Like I said just a minute ago, damage really doesn't matter here. You could have the most beat-up truck, and as long as you got full power, you're perfectly fine. Aerodynamics mean nothing at all. And there you see the pace truck diving off, getting ready to go back green here. Brett Guzik down on the really low line. The 42 with the good jump here now, and it looks like the 42 and the Nick Nickerson are going to be out in front of the 04 of Brett Guzik. Maybe not, though. He's fighting back down there on the inside.
He is, but I don't think he'll have the momentum off of turn number 2. A really weird approach there to the restart for Brett Guzik. His strength from earlier may be becoming a weakness. Trying to go underneath as Aaron Smith and Nick Nickerson. The battle is back. Yellow flag comes out for the 7th time. Curtis Yancey, the driver there. He was just in this battle we're a part of now. Connor Zook you're seeing now involved. Connor Sawyer, Ricky Hart once again. That's like Ricky's 5th incident of the race or something like that. It's becoming a bloodbath here at Knoxville. Let's see what prompted Curtis Yancey to be the first driver in my telemetry that was involved in that wreck. So this is through turn number 3 and 4. He's on the back bumper of Jackson, giving him a bit of a push. Gives him a big push. Oh, what happened there? He was in his back bumper. I think physically he should have spun Brandon with how much power he was carrying, but the truck spun itself, went full 360, got back on the power, and then the chaos in front of him began. But like Evan, like watching that, what is your takeaway from what we just saw? What a weird spin from the 51.
Yeah, I don't exactly know what happened there. Just guys racing for position, racing really hard. And, you know, I tell you what, tempers are flaring too as well. It's probably a good thing that you guys can't hear this. Plenty of guys mad at each other. A lot of guys exchanging words and a lot of tempers flaring here, to say the least. But yeah, I really don't know what happened there. Just that's one of the things that happens here racing for real estate. Bumps being traded everywhere and nowhere to go for a lot of these guys back behind.
That's one of those wrecks that Curtis Yancey's going to watch back in the replay, and it'll make just as little sense to him then as it does to him now, because that was weird. I don't know why the truck would have gone around there rather than Brandon in front of them. And, you know, maybe it was karma. Maybe the racing gods that, do very little when it comes to dirt tracks like this. But maybe they decided, you know what? Let's just give him some help for Mr. Brandon Jackson. He doesn't deserve that. We'll put Curtis around instead. But we're already going green once again. 8th restart of the race. Aaron Smith, the control truck. Nick to the inside now. Brett, another kind of slow start there from the inside line. But Michael Ramos, the biggest mover there through turn 1. Great jump from the outside line. Brett trying to fight back. Nick with the slide job. But Aaron comes out of the corner, out of turn 2, still in the lead.
Yeah, that outside lane with the huge runoff. It's going to be the 42 and the 2 up there. The 04 of Brett Guzik diving down to the inside, trying to make that inside lane work, and it's Ramos and Platt up there in the outside lane a little bit further back.
Brett Guzik really thinks he can make that inside line work, and you know, one of the most experienced guys in the field. I trust his judgment, but if it's going to come in, it needs to come in right now. He's in the podium spots, but after how dominant he was early, how comfortable he looked in qualifying, he should reasonably be your race winner with all that pace. But Aaron Smith and Nick Nickerson, they got into it. Nick is trying the slide jobs, very uncharacteristic for him. Not typically the most aggressive guy in the pack, but tonight he is pulling out all the stops. Now he's got Brett Guzik to his inside, so if he's going to get this move done on Aaron Smith, your race leader with 19 to go, he's going to want to make it quick, or else he may have some competition there for that number 2 spot. And keep an eye on Action Jackson. Brandon Jackson helped commentate earlier. Now he finds himself just outside of the podium spots.
Yeah, Brandon Jackson definitely knows what he's doing on dirt. You could hear that from his commentating earlier, and now he's in that catbird seat. He's trying to make something happen. 18 laps to go here at Knoxville. It's the 42 out front, and the 2 and the 04 side-by-side racing for that second position.
Still trying as Brett Guzik. That inside line starting to work. Nickerson right in the wall, puts the bumper to the outside wall. Sparks coming up. That 2 truck it's an ugly line, but it's working. The 2 is... he's flying, and Aaron Smith now starting to back off a little bit. He's kind of been able to focus on his line for a couple laps, but still not pulling away by all too considerable of an amount. And now Nick Nickerson still trying his line. These 3 guys are all locked together, so we'll take a moment. Here is a battle further back. Peter Murphy, Tony Hilbrands, Michael Ramos, Jonathan Platt, and Curtis Yancey trying to recover. This is the battle for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And plenty of potential guys could make the top 5 spot here to round off the top 5, and certainly plenty of them deserve it, but right now that spot is taken by Tony Hilbrands. A nice recovery after a couple rough weeks the last few weeks. But up front, Nickerson, huge slide, tried to go for it, but fails. I'm just going to say it spectacularly. That was one of the most interesting pass attempts I've ever seen. We kind of got there late, but Aaron Smith just had to kind of do his thing, let Nick go for the practically kamikaze line, and it didn't work out. Now Brett Guzik finds himself in second, but Nick's still not too far back.
Yeah, Nickerson really went for it. He fell back a little bit because he was doing so, but, you know, not too far. But if anything, I believe the 42 has fallen back a little bit. Brett Guzik may have a little bit more of a chance now, but Nick Nickerson charging back up through the field again.
Yellow flag comes out.
Caution's going to be out.
Yes, indeed. 8th of the day, 14 to go as we freeze the field. Man, this is going to be a fun last restart. Brett Guzik will be back on the front row, but we'll get you an update here on what brought this caution out. It's Trey Ellis and Jason Greenwell, 2 guys that, to my knowledge, haven't had very caution-prone races so far. Jason Greenwell was still one of the 14 trucks on the lead lap, so hopefully he didn't get too involved there for his sake. But the 4 truck here is Trey Ellis. You see, that was Davey Hendricks I saw up front. So I'm thinking Hendricks hooked Greenwell, and those 2 guys just collected each other on the lower groove there, jumped over that little dirt median, and found themselves in the wall. So let's go to the perspective of Jason Greenwell there, and we'll get you another replay.
Yeah, not much that Trey Ellis could do there from looking at it. Really nowhere for him to go. You'll see here in the replay again.
Yeah, so, yeah, didn't actually make any contact. Davey Hendricks wasn't to blame for that. It was just really Jason Greenwell kind of found himself getting loose through 3 and 4. Trey Ellis, kind of an innocent bystander, and just another one of those dirt wrecks. We've seen a couple. Whoa, got into Bill Harkins there late. Looked unintentional. Slightly more intentional, or maybe just joking around, shoved there to Trey Ellis as they got back on the power. But yeah, it's proven more difficult tonight than I thought. Like in practice and in our preseason test here, it looked like we had a wide enough track that there would be room to get by some of these incidents. But I think the dirt, Evan, is that when you get into the turn there and you really have to commit to your apex, it can be tough to make those last-minute maneuvers. And I'm really curious to see if this battle up front potentially becomes, elbows out, really intense. We could see multiple leaders getting involved in a wreck, and this entire top 3, top 5 could find itself being flipped on its head in a moment's notice.
Yeah, the 42 truck has picked the top again. Looks like guys in the back aren't exactly formed up quite well, so we may extend this one more time. Not exactly sure, but the 42 truck, yeah, extending it one more time. We're going to go one more lap of yellow before we get going here, but the 42 truck has picked the outside, as I was trying to say. And that means the 99 is going to be directly behind your leader, and he's going to be one of the guys that I think you need to watch out for. The 42 is going to go quick, and I feel like that 99 is going to want to follow as well.
I'd say you're right, and it's really interesting that he's worked his way all the way up here, because he's kind of had a quiet race so far. He's just kind of watched and learned, and I feel like he's learned some stuff about the line that may come in handy. He's really trying to slide the track on the final warm-up lap here, but keep an eye on the 99 behind your race leader there in third. But the pace truck in this very next corner will take the hard left onto pit road. 14 laps to the finish here at Knoxville Raceway, and the fixer-upper down in dirty 70. Potentially could have a very exciting finish here, but we'll have to see if we get a couple more cautions. As we always say, Evan, cautions breed cautions, and that was number 8, so keep an eye out. But right now, can Brett Guzik get a better jump like he was doing at the beginning, or will Aaron Smith pull away? Green flag for the 8th restart of the night at Knoxville Raceway. And Brandon Jackson, you called it, Evan. Good jump for him, but we were 3 wide in the braking zone to turn number 1, and Brett Guzik down to the bottom, looking comfortable.
Yeah, Brett Guzik doing everything he can on the bottom, but a huge sin there for Nick Nickerson, and it's going to be Nick Nickerson coming out right behind him. The 99 of Brandon Jackson is going to be down to his inside, trying to take the spot away, going for the slide job. It's not going to pay off. I think the 2 is going to get down inside of him.
Coming up to turn 1, Aaron Smith still all over the place up front, but continues to hold on to the lead. Nick Nickerson took a huge shot off the wall last time by, but so did Brandon Jackson. The 99 and the 2, both race winners this season, both punched into the playoffs. May be willing to get a little bit more aggressive just to go for that final podium spot. But more and more as we go forward, Aaron Smith and Brett Guzik starting to pull away. Could be really forming up the definitive battle for the race win. 2 guys who have yet to score a win this season. Could give us our 6th different winner in 6 races so far. Coming to 10 to go next time by. Still no caution, but still a battle for the 3rd place spot. Now 2nd place as Nick creeps towards Guzik.
Oh, trouble in the back. Platt's going around. Lakey's going around. The 38 just barely getting through it. Still trouble for Platt.
There's a huge
Caution
wreck.
is going to be out.
Yeah, Jonathan Platt was stuck in a wreck for about 10 seconds. I'd imagine that was the slowest 10 seconds of his entire life for him. And it was spinning all over the place, kept the car under him. But once we got to 3 and 4, everybody kind of piled up, and that'll be caution number 9. Got 4 laps into that stint there before we froze on the lap number 60. Let's get a replay and see what happened there. So this is coming off of turn number 2. There's Zook, and that's Greenwell. So we got to start with Platt. Platt was the first guy that I think made contact there with Cale Zook on the bottom in the 44 truck. And that was where things really spiraled out of control. We just got to find his truck. Jonathan Platt currently invisible on my telemetry. There he is. Okay, let's go get another replay for you there. So here's the 43 truck of Platt. Keep it. Yeah, just got loose there off of number 2. Gets into Lakey. That just unsettles the truck all the way down the backstretch, and he clips Hart. Hart gets into him once again. Nolan Gross gets stuck with him at the end. Almost goes over to Jonathan Platt. Would have been our 5th flip of the day. But no, gets back on track. Ricky Hart involved once again. Poor man. You know, Ricky, after winning last week, this race has just been a write-off for him. And, you know, more so than ever, Evan, I bet the fact that he's punched into the playoffs already is a comfort to him for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Anybody, I feel like you have to approach this race as sort of a Daytona or Talladega. You really never know who is going to be the driver that's going to punch their ticket into the playoffs tonight. If you're a dirt ringer, you're going to hope that it's you, but you really never know. It's such a big crapshoot. You never really know what is going to happen here, but Brett Guzik and Aaron Smith battling really hard up front. Both of those guys really wanting to punch their ticket. And the pace car, or pace truck, heading off right now. These trucks about to go green, and they are a huge jump for the 42. A great jump from him. The 99 of Brandon Jackson is going to be side by side with the 04 of Brett Guzik. Brett Guzik gaining a little bit of ground. The 2 getting by as well. The 99 now falling back side by side with the 92 car. And we got a car going around back in the back. The 10's involved. The 83's involved.
Still wrecking. Damage from Matt Crocker. He's got smoke coming out of the back of the truck, but no caution as of yet. So this chaos continues to unfold. Still no caution.
Sideways.
Up to the front, though. Battle for the lead. Brett Guzik with a slide job. Tries it on the 42. Aaron Smith got the better run off the corner, so this battle is not over. But Brett is back in it. Nick got a great charge into turn 1 on this stint. May have something to say about it. Brett tries to go again, gets the apex. Can he get the run off the corner? Aaron Smith did not nail the apex that time. Going to go to the inside, so Brett will have the better run now. Will Brett put the bumper to him? It has been a long...
Caution out again.
There it goes. It was only a couple laps, but man, what a fun stint. I'm seeing so many names here. We got Tony Hilbrands, Brandon Jackson, Curtis Yancey involved. No, I think we got to the part where my telemetry's lying.
Hendricks, Ricky Hart Jr. around.
That
would
would
be Davey Hendricks and Ricky Hart Jr. I don't know who else involved.
Let's go back. So Jason Greenwell we're seeing here. The 83 truck was the first guy involved. This is down into turns 3 and 4. I believe Platt, a big send there on the bottom. You see the 43 truck. He slides up in front. Just an unsuccessful slide job. The 83 gets stuck in the barrier. Whoa! Holy cow, went over the barrier. Thank you, iRacing Physics, for that beautiful moment. Davey Hendricks late, just kind of found himself with nowhere to go. And let's go to another quick replay there. Just a lot to break down in a very short clip. So here's on board with Davey Hendricks. Already smoke coming out of the back of the 10 of Matt Crockett. He coming around the outside there, and before he can do anything about it, he sees the 83 truck of Jason Greenwell stuck in the fence, and massive collision. That's one, again, that I'd be worried about in real life. The driver of the 21 having a rough race tonight. I know he wasn't looking forward to dirt, but he's fought through. He's sat through this entire race so far, and he's plugging away. I give him props. I give props to anybody here at this point in the race who doesn't love dirt, but is still fighting through and giving it the best chance they possibly can. Lights on the pace truck off again. Aaron Smith going to be the control truck once again. And I think the best chance we've seen in a very long time in this race for about 25 laps. Brett Guzik legitimately in the battle there. Potentially, if one of those slide jobs can work, he could find himself back at the front of the pack. And with only 8 laps to go, keep an eye as well on Nickerson. I believe we're going to single file start. So Aaron Smith, the 42 truck, the control truck, will be single file. 8 laps to go. Good jump for the 42 truck. The 04 quite a ways back, but so is Nick Nickerson. He may have time to just plug away at the gap. And Brett Guzik again looking for the first win in the series in a very long time. And Smith looking for his first win in series history after a successful start to his season.
Yeah, side by side, the 51 and the 92. The 92 going to go around a little bit. The 99 able to get by, and Brandon Jackson, Hilbrands, and Platt is going to be in the wall. The 55 spinning.
But he gets back on the power. It doesn't matter. 11th caution. That was a quick one. I didn't even really get a chance to break that down. I saw Platt into Zook a little bit. And that was kind of the catalyst for that whole thing. We potentially going to have a great battle there at the front until that happened. I believe that it'll still be Aaron Smith there. The caution came out just as Brett Guzik came out of his kind of over-under procedure. So he will not be a race leader. Let's go back and look. So Connor Zook is who I saw get involved first. It was him and Jonathan Platt. So this is off of number 2. This is up towards 3 and 4. On the outside, whoa. Okay, that was quite the aggressive send there. I can't blame Connor Zook for that one whatsoever. Jonathan Platt just carried the power in and let it rip, truly. I don't know about that. I couldn't tell by the way he was steering whether that was potentially as payback for a previous thing or if that was just a bit of a miscalculation, but let's go on board and get the perspective of the 43 truck. No, that looks like a pretty genuine attempt there at taking the wide line through the corner and just carried so much more speed than Connor Zook did. It looked like he was more confident with that outside kind of dirt barrier building up that holds you off the outside wall and lets you carry more power than the 44 truck was. So there you go. Something as similar as that. Yet another caution. And though these may feel so small for these positions in the back, they don't really even change as a result of these wrecks. It does mean the world for this battle up front. And the longer we go and the longer this drags out, I think the more tension builds up for your race leaders and the more perfect restarts Aaron Smith needs to execute.
Yeah, and these guys slowing down, not exactly sure what's going on here. 7 laps to go. I guess they're making sure that everybody gets lined back up. But yeah, catching up to the pace car, or pace truck I see here. Just now getting by the 42 of Smith, but yeah, this is going to be a really crucial restart. 8 laps to go here at Knoxville. The 42, the 04, the 2, and then the 92 of Hillbrands. I believe
Yep.
Hillbrands is 92, and the 99 of Brandon Jackson. It's going to be a really important restart as the pace truck is off, and we're going back green. Smith out front with a pretty big jump.
Whoa, Brett Guzik, there was a send for you. Look at the over-under attempt. Gets in front of him. The crossover works. The 04 truck of Brett Guzik is driving the wheels off that truck. Nick Nickerson, though, could spoil it for the top 2 guys here as Smith now goes to the bottom line. Guzik opts for the top, and he has got the 2 truck right behind Tony Hillbrands in the 92 trying to get involved. Jackson underneath the bottom of Yancey. 6 laps to go. They're side by side. Nickerson's going to push him up. Pushes Guzik up to the top line. Aaron Smith just narrowly avoids. Continues to hang on to the lead, but Nickerson now up to second.
Yeah, Guzik and Nickerson both tried to take the inside lane, or they both did take the inside lane, and still side by side. That 42 isn't pulling away. It's any of the top 3's race right now. 6 laps to go.
I mean, Guzik it's starting to work. That embankment he's been building up all race on the bottom line. It's starting to work for him. It's coming in at the perfect time. But now I think it's Nick's opportunity to take second, a much better run. And the 12th caution of the night will end this battle, and it'll freeze the race with 5 laps to go. What a fight we saw there. Looking forward to seeing that one start up again. But a couple familiar names. This time it's Matt Crockett, Connor Zook, and David Leakey we're seeing as a result of that last wreck. Whoa, David Leakey, what the heck happened there? The 84 truck just shot up to the top line into Connor Zook, or not Connor Zook, might have been, I don't even know. That happened so quickly. We got to go to the perspective of David Leakey there, David Leakey. Oh, the 84 truck was already in the wall off the corner that he spun around, just, I don't know, car damage or something like that to his truck, and just really weird. Let's back up a little ways earlier and see why the 84 truck was in the outside wall in the first place to begin with. So he was in a battle with Jonathan Platt there, went to the outside wall. I'd presume drove a pretty high line there to give Platt some space. He did. Just kind of got hooked onto the wall there. It looks like the embankment there, Evan, is almost starting to crest over, and it looked like he kind of got stuck in it. And sure, when he came back down, came back up, trying to avoid the inside wall, that's when Murphy, Crockett, and Caetano all got involved, as well as Connor Zook there towards the end. A huge shot off of the 10 of Crockett. A couple drivers did just manage to avoid, but yeah, really curious there. Looks like that top embankment, I don't know a ton about the dirt physics here. I barely race dirt in the sim at all, but it's almost starting to crest, and it looks like once you get too high there, it almost sucks you up to the wall, and I think that's what we just saw a moment ago with David Leakey.
Yeah, I don't know much about dirt racing at all, so excuse me if these are not the right terms, but I believe that's called a cushion up there on the outside, and I believe that cushion is starting to form. And I know that these dirt drivers, if they know how to use it, can use that to their advantage, but it seems to me if you don't really know what you're doing up there, or if you just accidentally get a little bit too high and you hop up on top of that cushion, then it's really going to upset the truck and really unsettle it. And I believe that that's what happened there. And then he was really just trying to save the truck, and in the process of trying to save it, there wasn't anywhere for the guys behind him to go.
Doubled up, stacked up, ready to go. Pace truck taking the left-hander in a moment. 12th restart of the race. 5 laps to go. Could be the race to the finish. Smith a good jump. Nickerson a good jump. Jackson looking to the inside of Guzik. And Brett Guzik sitting there in third is going to head to the inside once again. He's sticking with this line.
Oh, the 92 backwards.
Whoa.
92 of Hillbrands in the wrong direction, and this is going to be another big one. It looks like the actual truck race from Knoxville.
It does. Well, that race was just an absolute bloodbath, won late by a first-time winner. we'll see if that there's some parallel there to Aaron Smith potentially getting his first win in the Bandit League. But yeah, let's go back. At this point, you can all probably at home guess how this happened, but we'll go watch it back and see what happened. It's very funny. On my telemetry, I have the command for green flag and then immediately yellow flag, as though nothing happened in between. So even the telemetry is having some fun at this point. But here's Tony Hilbrands. This is right off the restart. Coming to turn number 1. He gets into the wall already, and yeah, Curtis Yancey just doesn't slow up at all. Just runs straight through him as he starts to get loose. And Caetano, Greenwell, Lakey, Crockett, Kalezook all involved in the aftermath there. Actually, Hilbrands got out relatively scot-free, so not bad in the end. And just another one of those wrecks. If your driver was in there, all I can tell you is check the timing tower, because it's hard to keep track of wrecks like that. Everybody should still be on the lead lap, but you see there Connor Zook, significant damage to the 55 truck. Hopefully he's got one more quick repair left, but if he doesn't, he's going to be limping it back to the finish in these final 4 laps.
Yeah, to all the fans, we apologize for the little bit of a lack of information that we're giving you, but it's not necessarily, I was about to say that we have a lack of information. We really don't have a lack of information. We just have too much information to share. There's so much going on. So many things are happening. So if we don't talk about your driver enough, I'm sorry, but that's what happens here. Things are happening so quick on this short little dirt track. So much action to cover, and we can only get to so much of it.
Well, I'm going to try to tie that into a segue. Speaking of action to cover, Mr. Action Jackson sitting there in 4th position. Was giving Brett Guzik a good run for his money there that last time by, so we'll see if he can go for it again. But yes, to Evan's point, if this is your first broadcast you've ever watched, please come back next week. They are normally much different than this, but let's have a good finish at least. Aaron Smith gets the jump. Nick Nickerson not too far behind. Brett Guzik yep, there it is. The inside line once again. He's trying to make it work. Brandon Jackson's going to ride the inside embankment. Your top 4 breaking away. Curtis Yancey there in 5th, quite a ways back. But the battle for first continues. Going to be 2 to go this next time by. Nickerson a drive to the bottom. So did Guzik. 3 wide through turn 3 and 4. Off the exit, Guzik trying the bottom. Nickerson will get the run, but Smith continues to hold on to the lead with 2 to go.
Yeah, it was a huge sin there from Nick Nickerson, but in the end, the 42 is still out front. It's still any of these top 4's race, so the 42 is out front. The 2's up there on the outside. The 04 keeps trying to work the inside, and the 99 still back there as well. The 2 with the big sin down into the corner. Up hitting the wall. The 42 going to battle back on the inside. We'll see who comes out on front. It's going to be the 42 again. But that 2 truck of Nick Nickerson is going to be closer. Down to the inside for the 42 and for the 2 truck of Nickerson. Side by side through the corner. The 2 with a little bit of an advantage, but the 42 is probably going to have the run off.
Whoa.
Side by side. And the 2 of Nickerson going around. Getting into break music.
2 more corners to go. They wreck at the end. 2nd and 3rd go around. Your race winner, his first in the Bandit Racing League, and your 6th different of the season. Aaron Smith, the 2nd, the rookie, wins at Knoxville Raceway. The 42 truck fought through, dominated the end, gets retribution for his just barely missing out on winning at Atlanta. There is his win. Brandon Jackson comes home 2nd. Curtis Yancey out of nowhere, back in the podium spots. Congratulations, Aaron Smith. What a drive.
A great race here tonight from all these guys. There you see the 42 of Smith doing a nice little victory burnout here in the dirt. A great ending here at Knoxville. A great end to a really fun, action-packed race. It's going to end up 42 of Smith on top, like you said, Marshall.
It's great to see. Aaron has just had such a great start to his season. The fact that this hadn't happened yet was absolutely a surprise. Like, remember back, Evan, at Atlanta, he just dominated start to finish. It felt like a foregone conclusion he'd get a win here soon. There's David Lakey, race sponsor. We'll give him some airtime. Shout out to him. Thank you, David, again. And to your wife, Katrina, who runs Fixer Upper, a great business, and great to shout her out. Props to you on that one. And I know that you said you had 2 kids and Katrina's expecting another child on the way soon. So congratulations, David, to you. Hope you and your family have a great next couple weeks. And, David came home 9th in a field of 25 in a race that chaotic. That deserves to be shouted out. So congratulations, David. Gave himself his own victory lap. He's going to come to a stop in the grass. And the dirt, I should say. Well, dirt seems fitting. That's what the whole surface of this place is. And Aaron Smith conquered it. Congratulations. As we're doing in the broadcast, let's just jump pretty much straight into the victory interview here with race winner, Mr. Aaron Smith. Just a moment. Let me just get some stuff set up. And, very quickly, before we do that, I'm jumping the gun a little bit. I just got excited. We had a new race winner, and he's parked in the grass. But before we get to him, let's pull your graphics down. We got to go over your final results here. We've gone over 4 result screens tonight, but now we can finally go over the one that matters for all the points, if it would like to show. Hello, final results. Here we go. Oh, there we go. We were getting them. Perfect. There it is. Awesome. Took a minute. Tonight's been a little bit unpolished, but it's a dirt race. What do you expect? It matches the theme. Aaron Smith, man, congratulations. Race winner in the 42 truck. Just what do you say? Had to fight all the way through that last period of time. Brett Guzik dominated early, and he had to hold him off. Nick Nickerson was giving him a challenge just like he did at both Atlanta and Daytona Road Course, but he holds him off and becomes your 6th different winner in 6 races to start off this season. Brandon Jackson in second. We talked to him early. He helped commentate for us a little bit, had some experience watching the trucks on track, and he took what they did and made it better. Finishes in second, just holding off by a couple seconds. Curtis Yancey, who barely holds off Jonathan Platt for his second podium of the season in Yancey's case. Jonathan Platt comes home 4th. Nick Nickerson went all the way around. I'm not crazy, Evan, and somehow still finished 5th. I don't know if you saw it better than I did, but I thought he spun all the way around. How did this guy still make it into the top 5?
You know, I don't know. I wasn't looking at the 2 truck. There were so many things going on that may be worth the replay. For him to come right there, that must have been a great finish for the 2 of Nickerson.
Only he can spin on the last lap and still finish in the top 5. Our defending champion is just nuts. So congrats to him, man, on still a good finish overall. Made it fun to watch. Michael Ramos had another good race for himself overall. Keep an eye on him as we go forward this season. Peter Murphy came home in second after wrecking in both the heat and a couple times in the feature, but he persevered, fought through, and finished just ahead of Matt Crockett, who comes home in 8th. Again, tonight's race sponsor, David Lakey of the Fixer Upper Down and Dirty 70 at Knoxville. I don't know why it's now cut off the text to just say the Dirty 70 at Knoxville Raceway, but that sounds much worse, and I'd like to stay on YouTube, so we'll fix that up in just a moment. But Brett Guzik, man, oh, Evan, it just hurts to see, man. We talk about him all the time, puts so much work in, has great races like he did today, and it just goes wrong at the end. Got clipped there at the end by Nick Nickerson, and somehow came out 5 spots worse. He will round off your top 5 in another unfortunate performance.
Yeah, hate to see it for the 04 truck. One of these days, he's going to have a good finish. He's getting good at qualifying on the pole. He's getting good at running fast laps. He's even getting good at being consistent. He's getting good all around the board. He just hadn't been able to string together a good finish and get a win here recently, but I'm sure he's going to have it here one day. We thought today might be the day, but it's not. But anyways, finishing in 11th is going to be the 92 truck of Tony Hillbrands, followed by the 79 of Anthony Caetano in 13th. The 55 of Connor Zook. We saw him in plenty of accidents today, just getting caught up in things, but a good job to come home there. Behind him is going to be Mark Allen Bivens, followed by Trey Ellis, the 4 truck. We saw him win at Daytona. Then Nolan Gross, Ricky Hart Jr., the 64 truck, Steve Ulrich, Davey Hendricks, and Cale Zook in the 44.
Let's just reset the race title quickly. There we go. And to round off your field tonight, the final 5 drivers, just really unfortunate nights for the 5 of them, including Kevin Foster, who I don't even believe started the race. As you said earlier, Evan, his wife and his dog got into something and broke her nose. Hopefully everything is going okay with that situation. So best thoughts with them. I've had many dogs, and I've had many headbutts to the face, and it is certainly not a good feeling. So best of luck with everything there. So he'll finish off tonight in a very understandable 25th, but the rest of the bottom 20 there, or the rest of the bottom 5, Jason Greenwell in 21st. Bill Harkins, we talked to him earlier. Thanks for coming in and helping us out there in the heats, Mr. Bill Harkins, the founder and owner of the series, and the guy who put all the merch together. So again, Bandit merch, go check it out. Go to the website there. The link is below in the description below. Go to the website, go to Bandit Swag, and pre-order yourself some very cheap for the quality and very good stuff. Go check it out. But to round off your field, Connor Sawyer and Victor Weaver in 23rd and 24th, and that'll be your 25 car lineup in the feature race. And if you expected to see a driver here, and they were here for a fact, and they're not in this lineup, then they would have been out in one of the heats. Only a couple drivers didn't make it, but they could have potentially been eliminated in the heat or the consolation races. So go back earlier in the broadcast. It was a little sketch there at the beginning, but go check them out, and that'll give you some more context for where they finished. But now, there you go. There is your lineup for tonight. And as we've been doing these last couple weeks, and as we'll continue to do going forward, we need to go to your race winner, Mr. Aaron Smith. Let's get him in the broadcast booth and Just what a race. It's always good to see first-time race winners, and it doesn't get much more deserving than the race Aaron Smith put together. So we'll pull him in for your first interview of the night.
Oh. Howdy.
Hey, Aaron. It's Marshall up in the broadcast booth. You got me?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Awesome. Welcome, Aaron. Congratulations, man. I misspelled your graphic. Let me just do a quick correction there. You were not the race winner, though you did finish in P1. You were the race winner. Congratulations, Aaron. Winner at Knoxville Raceway. We talked about you so much. A couple weeks ago, you were the main story. You were the main attraction. And we talked about, how would he carry over to the ovals? Would he be a master of all trades? But nowhere in my mind in that moment did I think he'd win on dirt. And you were so comfortable tonight. How much experience do you have here in this discipline? And what were you working through over the course of the race to help you get to this spot?
Yeah, I've done a couple races here with the trucks in the past, and I've had a bit of success. But overall, it was a learning experience racing in heavy traffic with folks who knew what they were doing, putting on a good show. And unfortunately, it ended with a lot of my competition spinning out there at the end. But it was a good race up until then.
Yeah, speaking of all the chaos there towards the end, you seem to be out of it for most of the race. You never really seem to find yourself involved in all that chaos, and you had some damage on the truck after the beginning of the race. So talk to us about your early stages of the race where maybe we didn't see a couple of those wrecks. How much contact were you in? And by the end, how relieved were you to have that bit of a lead where you didn't have to get too involved physically with other trucks?
Yeah, with the track state we started with in the beginning wasn't really suited to my what I'm good at on the dirt track. So I wanted to be able to run the bottom there for the first couple laps when it was all packed in. But later through the run, it started to get good up top, and that's when I'd get a little stronger. But I was passing some lap cars and just caved the door in pretty hard on the wall, trying to drag my brakes and get it straight. But fortunately, it didn't hinder me too bad.
Now, going forward, you got the win now. You become the sixth different race winner in six races to start off the year. You were so close at Atlanta. You were so close at Daytona. You had those 2 second places, and you get over the hump here to get the win. For your season in general, you're locked into the playoffs. You become the first rookie driver this season to do so. But, now that you're comfortably in and you make it to the playoffs, did this prove anything to you tonight? The fact that you really can get over the hump to the top spot? Or after what you saw in Daytona Road Course and at Atlanta, were you already feeling pretty comfortable that you're one of those guys in the series that can get race wins, make the playoffs, make a deep charge, and potentially even win the championship?
Yeah, I felt like I'd be able to compete when I first joined earlier in the season, because in order to win championships like this, you have to be a factor in every course you race at, whether it's road course, dirt oval, short oval, or super speedway. And I'd say I'm pretty good at all of those, so hopefully it'll carry on for the rest of the season.
And that was the next question I was going to ask. The rest of the season going forward, you get your win now, you're in the playoffs. And for next week when we go to Milwaukee Mile, does the mindset change? In your experience, I know you've won plenty of other races and other series you've run in. When you're locked into the playoffs and you go up to a track like Milwaukee Mile, that's a little bit more foreign, I'd say, to a lot of drivers, especially in the trucks. Are you one of those types that's going to continue to put in the work just as much as you did these weeks now that you're punched into the playoffs? Or are you one of the types that's like some other guys going to focus on the big picture and really start to lax off until we get to the into the playoffs?
Yeah, I'll certainly be putting in the laps over the rest of the season at least. But I'm not too good at Milwaukee, so I'll definitely be putting an emphasis on practicing for that. But we'll see how it goes.
We will indeed. You'd become the first driver to win 2 races this season if you went back-to-back in multiple weeks, and this is now your third, maybe even fourth race in 6 that you've been one of the contenders, if not the favorite to win. So, Aaron, it was a beautiful race. It was such a fun battle there at the end, and you hold off both Nick and Brett and even Brandon there towards the end. So, well-deserved. Not your first time overall this season. You had a driver profile and 2 other interviews, but for your first time as the first interview of the night, do you have anybody you want to shout out? You want friends and family you want to mention? Any sponsors or just whatever you want to talk about? This is your time.
Yeah, I'd like to thank the folks at the Satellite Racing Team for their support, as always, and y'all for broadcasting, and all the folks at the Bandit Racing League for putting the show on. Looking forward to next week.
As are we. It's second race of the Rogue Energy doubleheader. You did well in the first round at Atlanta, so go out there, try to win yourself some energy drink stuff, and we'll see you next week, Aaron. Congratulations, man. First-time race winner. Go celebrate, man.
All right, thank you.
There you go. First broadcast of the night for the first win of the season for Aaron Smith. Just, again, what a drive from him, man. Overall, he seems so unfazed in a lot of races. Remember back to Daytona Road Course, he had Jason Greenwell spin right in front of him in one of the trickiest corners on the track. didn't skip a beat, went right back to doing what he was doing, looked so comfortable there, just plugged away at the laps at Atlanta. And before we get a chance to, let me just set up Brandon Jackson's interview here for a moment, but just, Evan, as we watch, Aaron really become more comfortable with the series as we go on, he just seems kind of like a Nick Nickerson type to me, somebody who just doesn't make mistakes and is just comfortable anywhere and can really find his way through. And I don't know about you, but that archetype, just like how it worked for Nick last year, feels like a championship winning formula, doesn't it?
Yeah, he does. He's a very calm driver. He really thinks about what he does, it seems like, from when I've seen him. And that's what really makes a good driver, in my opinion. Someone who really thinks things through. They think before they act. They're very calm and decisive with their decisions. And that's something that I know that Ricky Hart Jr. has emphasized that he likes to do. He likes to really watch people and plan out his moves. I know he emphasized that a lot. The year that he won the championship, he was really thinking about that a lot. And I know that that's something that Nick Nickerson does as well. And that's something that I see in Aaron Smith too. Just very calm drivers that they see what's happening, they watch what's happening, and then they make their decision. And I feel like Aaron Smith is just going to get better as he learns these drivers more. By now, he's learning the drivers in this series. I know that he already knew some of these guys, but I'm sure there's some that he doesn't know, and he's just learning new faces, learning how they drive, and that's really just going to make you race better the more you know the people that you're racing around.
Yeah, that comfort is so key, and even as a driver, to know the people around you, to know where to put your trust, it can really just make you more comfortable. And comfortable drivers are often quick, as long as they're still being pressured. But in this series, pressure from drivers behind is just something that it's par for the course, and for good reason. We got a great talented lineup here in the series. But let's go to your second interview of the night. We'll send Evan down into the broadcast booth to talk to an old friend of his and somebody who was on the broadcast earlier tonight. Congratulations on his second place finish, Mr. Brandon Jackson, your second place finisher at Knoxville.
Yeah, going from somebody who's calm and smooth to a driver who is always on the edge of the seat. 99 to Brandon Jackson. You got a copy?
Hey, boys. I was just in here, wasn't I?
You are. It feels like you were just here. That race flew by, except for all the cautions, But otherwise, it flew by. But first of all, I don't know if you talked about this a little bit earlier, but kind of give us your experience with dirt. I know that you race dirt quite a bit on iRacing, so talk through that a little bit.
Yeah, I've been getting more into dirt over the last year, and just running the late model, super late model is just a lot of fun. I've been driving that and then switching to the truck. You learn a lot, driving the late model and then you moving over to the truck. It kind of doesn't really handle the same, but it's a lot of momentum that you got to do, and it's just you got to find the good dirt. And there wasn't much left after like 50 laps, and I tried to go to the high side, and I just couldn't make it work. So I just decided to be a bottom feeder, and eventually it played off. I don't know how, but it somehow played off. But yeah, a little bit of the background definitely helped out here. I probably would have been in a lot worse shape if I didn't run any dirt at all.
Hey, yeah, it definitely worked out for you. You did a great job. And so we've got this dirt race, and we only have one other dirt race on the calendar. That's a little bit later in the playoffs, assuming that you'll make it in there. I don't know if it's the first, second round, but assuming that you're in that round of the playoffs, how do you feel about Eldora compared to here at Knoxville?
Oh, Eldora is going to be absolutely insane. Whoever has the right side on their truck, that means they weren't driving hard enough. So it's going to be interesting. I wouldn't say I'm scared, but I'm scared for it after seeing how this race went, and it's gonna be brutal, man. It was frustrating at times I got the bumper put to me a lot. It's not a good idea, by the way. I wouldn't recommend doing that to me, but it was a lot of fun, and we definitely made it interesting there with like the last 3-4 laps, and I somehow skated through that.
Yeah, you guys definitely made it interesting. One of the best finishes that I've seen here in the Bandit Racing League here at Knoxville. And talking about future races, next week we've got Milwaukee. How are you feeling about that? It's a quite different track.
It's a very different and weird oval. I honestly don't know what to say about it. I haven't really ran that many races there, so I'm going to be going in there pretty much blind. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I still think I'll probably end up getting a good finish. It's going to be very interesting, needless to say, but I feel like I'll be able to, just scooch out a top 5 if I can ended up putting the track together there late. But like I said, it's gonna be just walking in there blindfolded, hopping in the truck, and say, "Yeah, let's go racing." So we'll see what happens.
That's all you can do is see what happened. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch you guys do it. I feel like it's going to be a great time. It's a fun oval. And of course, you're already in the playoffs, so you don't have too much to lose. But we're going to wrap this up quick. You know the drill. This is your time to shout. Anybody out, you know what to do.
Hey, shout out to Marshall having me come up in the broadcast. I don't know how I got my big stuff up there and then back in the truck a couple seconds later. I don't know, but hell, I'm athletic, I guess. But no, shout out to everybody out there. It was a learning experience for me. I've never been in the broadcast booth like that before, so hopefully I didn't do anything too bad. I got a little excited. That's how I am. But just shout out to a lot of guys. You know, a lot of guys really came out of their element tonight racing on dirt, especially in the trucks. It's not like we're running on dirt with the late model or the sprint car or the midget. You know, we're out here driving the trucks that don't deserve to be on this track, but hell, we're doing it, and we did pretty good. I would say the least. You know, we had a lot of cautions late there, but that's to expect when the track is this slicked off. So it was pretty fun. Just shout out to everybody out there watching the broadcast. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I don't know how many of y'all are out there that are fans of mine, but I hope y'all enjoyed it. And woo NASCAR.
Hey, from what I heard earlier, you did a great job up in the booth. So you've done the booth, you've done the car. Next thing, you just got to commentate from inside the car. So I'll expect that a little bit later on down the road. Doesn't have to be anytime soon, but always good talking to you, Brandon. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and throw it back to Marshall.
Yeah, thank you again, Brandon, for taking the time. It was a pleasure to talk to you earlier. And there's always a spot for you, man. If ever you just decide, no, I don't feel like it this week, you got a spot up here, man. And no, I'm proud of you. There are guys in this series, well, very few, that I'd be more worried to have in the broadcast booth to try to stay on YouTube than you, my man. But we did it. I don't think I'll be struck, so I appreciate it. You're forever in my gratitude for that, Brandon. Thank you. We've lost him. I know. I know he'd be saying something in return. So, but yes, thank you genuinely to Brandon for hopping in. He was fun to have, and man, he's a fun guy to talk to, and he genuinely had a knack there for commentary. We were pretty comfortable there, and him and I were able to unravel the complicated, convoluted web of confusion that the beginning of tonight's broadcast was. Again, tonight was not the standard going forward, so don't think that this is what to expect if it's your first time watching here in the Bandit Racing League. Go watch one of the other broadcasts from this season that were much more polished, or just stick with us next week for Milwaukee Mile. I promise this is a one-off, and we'll be all good to go next week when we're in a bit of a more conventional format. But for your final interview of the night, a guy getting his second podium of the season, it's an old rival of Brandon Jackson's, and a guy who had a very fun race overall. Didn't always have the most ideal spot going into the start of a race, but every single race he participated in tonight, both his heat and this feature, he came out in a pretty good spot, including a third in the final here. So let's pull into the booth Mr. Curtis Yancey in just a moment. Hey, Curtis, it's Marshall up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Awesome. Welcome, Curtis. Congratulations there on the third place, my man. And from the start of tonight, it looked like you were fighting an uphill battle. You didn't qualify there in qualifying, started in last in your heat, but worked your way all the way up to second, got in the feature race, and just gave him hell. You were fighting your way through. What was working for you tonight? What changes were you making to maybe your line, to your approach, to how you were driving the dirt compared to other drivers? Just what seemed to be working for you tonight to gain all those spots over the course of the night? Oh, we have lost Curtis Yancey. Okay. He does not appear to be here. Evan, you can pretend to be Curtis if you'd like, and we can just do a mock interview, or we can try to wait and see if he shows up, but...
You know, I noticed earlier he said there's a big storm coming through his area. He was saying that he was having to run tonight's race on a hot spot. So, looks like he's back here now.
Okay, well, try to pull him in again. Hey, Curtis, you got me?
Yeah, I got you this time. For some reason, my Discord decided to crash.
Oh, no worries. No, we were talking about before. We heard you were having some internet issues with the storm. We were just hoping it wasn't that. But you're back. I don't know how much of what I said you heard, but yeah, overall, you were just flying through the field tonight, qualified at the back of your heat, all the way up to second. You were great in the feature. What were you doing tonight that set you apart from the other guys that you could notice on track?
I honestly don't know. The only thing that I can equate my performance to is the powers above. It was an up and downhill night all night. Internet got knocked out. Had to race on a hotspot from my phone. Hit the wall both laps in qualifying. Ran up to second. Started I think sixth in the feature. I got wrecked like halfway through. Go figure. Every single time, and I was content with running P5 after going from the front to the back to the front to the back, and then getting a P5. I was happy with that, but then I saw Nick and Brett crash on the backstretch. So I was like, oh crap, we're going to finish third. And then Platt decided to throw a pretty good slide job, and then it was a very good finish for third. That was a fun race.
Dove off to either end. You were the one guy left standing, and as both Nick and Brett got involved, and those are definitely two contenders for the championship overall this season. And I think as you continue to have these great performances, and you prove that in short run races you get a lot of cautions, but if it just comes down to a couple laps, you got the ability, you got the throttle control to really give them a run for their money. And you don't have a win yet this season, but we've had 6 different winners so far in the year. With the calendar we got coming up, and we'll put it up here in just a moment, what sort of races in the near future do you expect will be your best, and where do you think will maybe turn your skills and convert those into your first win of the season to lock you into the playoffs?
Honestly, I don't really know. We were running pretty good this year. I honestly don't know. I mean, obviously Vegas, I don't even know if we're running there.
Yep.
It's where I got the first win. I think, no reason why I can't go get a second win at Vegas. Milwaukee, I'm not looking forward to that. Nashville's going to be fun. Chicago's going to be fun. Michigan's going to be fun. I think nobody's going to have a shot at Road America except Nick and Aaron. Texas is going to be good. Just a bunch of mile and a halves. I feel like I'm somewhat decent at mile and a halves, and I think that's really where, if it's going to get a win, it's probably going to be at a mile and a half with strategy and pure luck.
Now, referring to just the other dirt track in this season, Eldora is in a very key spot in the playoffs there, the other dirt track on the calendar. I know it's similar in some ways and different in others. How much knowledge do you have of that track compared to this one? And do you feel like tonight your skills here at Knoxville will carry over, or do you think it's going to be an entirely different ballgame?
Honestly, at the end, when Knoxville was up against the top, I don't know. I think Knoxville and Eldora are going to be two different tracks, and they're going to race two different ways. The bottom is going to be dominant here at Knoxville, and then at Eldora, the top's going to be dominant just because of the banking. I think really everybody's going to be up towards the top until it starts to slick off, and then people are going to start moving down. So I think it's just going to be, the lines are going to be reversed of where we were running tonight at Knoxville. But as far as Eldora, I think I've got a pretty decent shot. That's probably the dirt track that I've got the most experience at. Running late model sprint cars, street stocks, all that kind of stuff. But I think if we're going to get a win at a dirt track, it obviously didn't come tonight. Might as well be Eldora.
Oh, fair enough. Just do what you did tonight. Do it again. And if you have to, like you said, flip the lines around, do something a little different. But if you put in the time, we know you got the talent for it, Curtis. Become maybe the 7th different winner in the series, or whatever winner it'll be by the time we get to Eldora, if that happens to be where you get over the hump. But yeah, we are running Las Vegas as well, so could potentially go back-to-back. We saw a couple weeks ago both Brandon, I guess just Brandon was the only driver to repeat, although Nick repeated at Daytona Road Course. So there's precedent that guys really get a hold of a track and do well there every year. So I wish you the best of luck at Vegas and in general going forward. But you know what we do in the interview. It's your second of the year, and you had plenty of experience here last season. So if you have any shout-outs, any sponsors you want to mention, friends and family watching at home, just whatever you'd like to talk about, it's your time.
Yeah, no real sponsors, although we put Scott Hartsock on the hood and on the bumper. He's a good friend of my dad's. Growing up here in Florida, used to race monster trucks. Actually won World Finals with the Monster Jam, I believe, back in the early 2000s. Unfortunately, he passed away earlier this year due to a unfortunate accident, not involving a monster truck at all, but actually going to the track. So it's been pretty sad without him, but I think getting him in P3, I think, with me knowing him, he'd probably be proud of that.
Absolutely. Yeah, my condolences, man. It's always really something unfortunate to go through, but way to do it tonight. Way to fight through, way to make him proud, and man, just you fought through all the way through, and certainly one of those ones you had to earn. It wasn't just given to you. So congratulations, Curtis. way to fight. We'll see you next week at Milwaukee Mile and the next couple races going forward. Just keep plugging away, keep racing hard like you have, and you'll find yourself back here becoming the first interview of the night in our new format in the interviews sooner rather than later. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you. Thanks, guys.
And there you go. That'll round off your final interview of the night with the 51 Trucks driver, Mr. Curtis Yancey. And what a race he had tonight. You know, that heat race, I know you weren't there quite for it, Evan, but he was just unstoppable. You could argue with a couple more laps, he was a shoe-in to win that. And I think it really plays well to his strengths. He's always been somebody who's been really quick on the shorter runs. Certainly, I know he burns the tires up very similar to how I race, which is why I think I might have been okay tonight. But I know that driving style can work for some and not work for others in terms of tracks. You know, some tracks like Atlanta, you got to have the long run pace. But when Curtis gets a track where he can just plug away, burn the tires up, but run quick, he does so. And tonight he comes away with the second podium of the year, and I think he's definitely somebody to watch come playoff time.
Yeah, I think he's proven that he's definitely a guy to watch, and he will be. You know, a lot of guys, and unfortunately, talking about points just a little bit, Kevin Foster, he was at the top of the points, unfortunately not able to make it tonight. That's going to cause him to fall down a little bit, but we've seen a couple of guys, those points are going to be shuffled a little bit. I'll just say that at the very least. It's going to be interesting to look at those points after tonight's race and see them next week and see what they were, because I feel like there's going to be a good bit of shuffling up there.
Absolutely. We'll have to keep an eye out. Unfortunately, tonight with some changes that have just happened in my background here, and the fact that, well, the race early was so chaotic, we didn't really get a chance to actually show the points. So let's take a quick moment here right now to show you what they were looking like before tonight's event. And of course, they have changed, but maybe we can extrapolate a little bit, knowing what we know now as a result of tonight's event. So coming into tonight, it was Kevin Foster up front with 209. Then it was Davey Hendricks, a significant drop back by 15 points to second. Nick Nickerson was tied with him, the fellow GFR Racing teammate of Kevin Foster. And Cody Welch, who also didn't run tonight, took a provisional. So you Cody Welch fans, I'm sure you'll see him next week at Milwaukee Mile. He'll be back soon. Ricky Hart, after winning last week, was, another big drop back from fourth, but he was kind of in the conversation. And Aaron Smith, the 42 truck, I believe missed a race to start off the season, but he's since recovered and now finds himself punched into the playoffs officially with his win tonight here at Knoxville. And just to another graphic I didn't get a chance to show, but Evan, you do such great work on these playoff outlook graphics. These look amazing, so I always want to make sure to show them, even if we don't have a ton of time. There are your 5 drivers prior to tonight that were locked into the playoffs, and your top 12 that would be transferring to the playoffs if the season ended last week, which of course it doesn't. So you can add Aaron Smith II to that list of drivers who have a win, and you'll see him on the graphic next week. And we'll have to shuffle the playoff results over a little bit. I know Robert Mathis and Alex Bowser, who were just below the cutoff there in the top 12, they didn't make the race tonight. Neither did Hunter Henry there, the driver of the 94 truck, the fan favorite himself. And you mentioned there, Evan, Kevin Foster coming last place in the feature race as a result of some off-track issues. So, yeah, that'll be a significant change next week, and it'll be interesting to see what your playoff, kind of outlook looks like going into Milwaukee Mile. But that's what next week is for. We'll get things polished up. This week was nuts. Just wow. I'm going to be glad to take a moment here to figure out all the things that went wrong and just figure out what happened with the heat race format, so I know what we're doing for Eldora, because it was chaotic there at the beginning. But here is the logo once again. Thank you to David Lakey and to his wife Katrina, again expecting a child very soon, so congratulations to those two. But Fixer Upper, it's a great organization. I read up about it. I'm just blanking on the area, so go check them out. The link is in the description to their Facebook page. So go check them out if you're in the area. You want a project done. I know that Katrina's wife, or David's wife Katrina, I'm sure would absolutely appreciate it. And from what I'm seeing on Facebook, she does absolutely great work. And so there you go. Shout out to David Lakey for sponsoring tonight's race. Thank you to all our sponsors, as always, in the Bandit Racing League for making this what it is, for making us be able to do this every week. And so there you go. Thank you to him for sponsoring the Fixer Upper down and dirty 70 at Knoxville Raceway. And we'll throw up the schedule once again, but that'll about take us out. Before we go, though, I guess I can throw myself on Skype there so we can do our final little spiel here. But thank you, Evan, for coming back. Glad to see you were able to make it here right at the end. Let me just fix a couple things. Got the championship standings on my face. But yeah, we didn't know what to expect on dirt. And certainly, I think it was about everything we were imagining it would be. Quite a few cautions. But in the end, I'm really happy with the racing we had tonight. Not only the battles there at the end of the heats, at the end of the consolation race, but one of the best finishes, you said it yourself, that we've had in this series in a long time there at the end.
Yeah, I think it was a great race. We had a couple of cautions, but you know what? Wasn't anything better or wasn't anything worse than the actual NASCAR race here at Knoxville. It was a great time. It was a lot of action, a lot of beating and banging, a lot of sliding around, and just a lot of fun. Definitely going to have to go rewatch this one. It was a great time, and I'm really excited for Eldora now.
So am I. I was worried about this one. I wasn't sure I was going to go. I wasn't sure how the drivers would like it. I know there was some contention there, but this one was fun. And I promise by the next time, now that we understand better how the heats work, how quick things are going to go there at the beginning, we'll get you a proper pre-race and we'll get things figured out. I'll peel back the curtain a little bit. I did not have any of this stuff you see on screen right now until as of 3 hours ago, I guess 5 hours ago. There was all sorts of chaos. We got it to work. And again, if this is your first broadcast, I promise stick with us. Evan did great work last season, and though I haven't quite equaled out his standards of producing, I think I'm getting there, and this was not a good example of that. So next week, hopefully you guys at least enjoyed the race, and I promise next week at Milwaukee Mile, I'll actually have a new background. I'm moving into university, at least into my new dorm on Saturday. So next week, I'm going to try to set up my desk such that you can see the 21st floor of a high-rise building in beautiful Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So if you want some nice late-night sunset views of a giant metropolitan city, tune in next week. I'll have everything ready to go, and let's make Milwaukee Mile fun. Hopefully, Evan, you'll be back next week. We'll get into a really fun track, a track I don't personally know much about, but I know my beloved IndyCar series has run at plenty of times, and it's one that I think the drivers will need some warning for as well. So it's going to be a great race. We'll throw up the schedule once again, but that'll about round it off. Again, thank you to David Lakey for sponsoring the race. Thank you to Brandon Jackson for subbing in on commentary. Sorry to some of the guys that I thought might get a chance to that didn't quite, just because of how things worked out and how fast-paced everything was. But we'll see you next week. Thank you all at home for watching as always and for supporting your favorite drivers and maybe in supporting the sponsors. And again, got to remind you, Bandit merch, go to the website. It's in the description, banditracingleague.com. Go to the Bandit swag tab. Again, it is really, really reasonable prices. Like I'm up here in Canada, so every price looks a little bigger because our dollar's worth nothing. But if you're in the States, I promise it's good prices. It's great quality stuff. And you can rep the Bandit Racing League. And who doesn't want to do that? So go check it out. That'll about round it off. Here's your schedule heading into the next couple races of our season. So Nashville Fairgrounds is in 2 weeks after Milwaukee Mile. Then it's Chicagoland, Michigan, Road America on the 22nd, and Legacy, Texas. I'll round off the end of September for next month. So some great races coming up soon. No more dirt racing until Eldora on the 24th of November. But there you go. That'll round it off. Have a great rest of your week, everybody. We'll see you next week at Milwaukee Mile. Promise it'll be a more traditional broadcast. We'll get all the fixings in. And we'll see you then. Thank you, Evan, for stopping by. Let's go at Milwaukee Mile next week.
Absolutely.
Darn you.